What the hell? Come on, computer. Don't quit on me now. I should probably close out my editor. That'd probably help it. What's happening, guys? Hey, it is Saturday. Whoa. It is Saturday. Well, hold on. Sorry, it's a little choppy right now. I should have closed my my editor right now to free up some space, some memory, some RAM. All right, come on, you could do it. Oh, we're good. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good now. All right, what's happening, guys? How you doing? Welcome to the third fan chat. That's right. Have a beer. Let's have a beer. That's right. Cheers, guys. Currently watching the playoff game. Yeah, the Ravens. Sorry, you had your chance, but now your quarterback is out. I mean, it's bad. I don't know if anybody's watching the game, but as soon as Lamar Jackson, when he threw that interception, that pick six, that's literally inside the end zone, and then ran all the way back. It was done, and then all of a sudden, yeah, he shit the bed, and then now he's got a concussion, so he's not coming back to the game. So there we go. What's going on, guys? We got Jason. What's up? Hey, I miss you too, Jazz. I miss you too. Oh, someone's having a good night, huh? Evening. What's going on? What's going on, Reza? How you doing? How you doing, Music Man? That's good, man. I won't do anything like, crazy or anything like that to throw you off. I don't want to throw you off right now. I want to do that. What's going on, Movie Watch, man? I just saw it. You just sent me that video, right? When you added the whole the Joker shame thing. Shame. What's going on there, Viper? What's up, Edward? The time has come for Ayer said, F you people. Yeah, exactly. I know. I mean, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting, guys. What's going on? Alaka Zoo. How you doing, Liberty Bro? Love you too, man. What's going on, Hidden Shadows? And then, of course, we got Shadow Ghost. We got William, which he'll probably be joining. How's it going? And then, of course, we got the other Will too. What's going on, Andrew? How you doing? You got your wine? Cool. Well, cheers, man. What's going on, Carrie? How you doing, bud? Said Kevin Feige wants a Henry. No. He didn't say he wanted Henry Cavill. He wanted a Henry Cavill type. That's what it was. I thought I read it as a Henry Cavill type. He didn't want Henry Cavill, but a Henry Cavill type to play the role. That's the way I read it, I thought. So I think people are misunderstanding that. What's going on? Katsuka. Yeah. What's crack-a-lackin'? What's going on, Daryl? Brendan, what's up, bud? And we got Eric, the other Eric here too. All right. I think we're doing that. We got this cover as running a Feige wants. Oh, is that what it is? I thought I read it as they wanted a Cavill type. Oh, look at this. There's some life. We got some life in the Ravens. Now, I thought they said they wanted it. You know, when they say that, like, oh, we want a certain type. And most of the time I'm like, well, why don't you just cast that person? Like, I remember, I think shit. I'm trying to remember I'm totally like blanking. Whatever. More Erica. Yeah, now. And I was like trying to figure out. I mean, I was pretty lazy today because it's Saturday. I worked a lot yesterday. Had a really awesome vodka stream, which I appreciate all the kind words you guys said. It was a lot of fun. Of course, you drank a lot. I drank a lot. So I woke up a little fuzzy this morning. So I was just kind of like lazy all day. I watched what's that Anthony Mackie movie that's on Netflix? I forgot what it's called. Outside. Damn it. It's the movie that takes place like a couple, I don't know, in 2038, where like he's a robot and there's like robots, there's droids, and then this one guy who's like a droid operator has to go into the thick of the war and everything like that. What's it called? Outside the Line. There you go. Not a bad movie. I mean, it's like, I wouldn't say it's B roll. I would say it's B+ roll. That makes sense. But I'm not a fan. I'm not a huge fan of Mackie either. But I mean, it wasn't a bad movie. It was a decent sci-fi movie, but it was B roll-esque. That's why I say it's B+ roll. I think that's how I would consider that movie. B+ role. It wasn't bad. I was like, you know what? I wanted to watch something new. So I was like, okay, what's going on there, Death Witch? So I was like, I'll do that. I appreciate it. Yeah, it is nuts. It is pretty crazy. It gets pretty crazy. And like I said, we're gonna have some more, craziness that's gonna be happening this year, man. I mean, to have my first guest be, Brandon Davis, who's well known in the comic book movie world, and for being somebody that is a presence and a voice on comicbook.com. Pretty awesome stuff. I'm glad that he showed up, and we had to talk. We got to see the relaxed and the fun drinking Brandon Davis, man. That's what it's all about right there. That's what the vodka stream's all about. I mean, not everybody, of course, drinks, which is fine. It's not a requirement, but that's what the whole thing of it is. It's like, hey, come in, let's relax, have a drink. You don't have to be like Mr. Host or anything, or you're hosting your videos, nothing like that. You don't have to be anything like that. All right, I'm currently about to send the link to the patrons right now. So if any of the patrons are watching, look for it. It's about to show up on the feed. All right, here we go. All right, live stream link. We'll talk to some of the patrons. These are fun. The last one was a lot of fun, of course, too. So, all right. So, wait. Oh crap! Did the wrong thing. Hold on. Learn how to do it, Dave. Come on. Yeah. We need BD. I know. Hey, you know what? The door's always open, man, for Davis. That was great. If he ever wants to show up for the panel or anything like that, or, I mean, it's going to get to a point where special guests are going to make the rounds again. I had plenty of special guests last year that have YouTube channels and stuff, but I'm trying to get as many like different special guests as possible. I mean, I might have a good get next week. That might be pretty damn good. And then somebody else too that it's just all, is that missed it. Damn. Almost. I'm actually kind of rooting for the Ravens right now. I'm like, it'd be crazy if the backup quarterback wins this thing. All right. Live stream link. All right. Join me. All right. So wait, there it is. All right. So pasting it now, and here we go. So pasted it. Oh, let's see. Make sure I get that right. I probably did not get that right. Hold on. Select. There we go. There we go. All right. So we'll start filing those guys in here. But yeah, it was a lot of fun last night. Definitely was. That's what it's all about. It's all about just having fun and just chillaxing. I know. I'm hoping to your comic books. I'm hoping to get them. Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, Jose, I saw it, but we won't talk about it right now since. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens when it happens. If it gets brought up. But all right, we got a first couple of patrons showing up right now. We got Mr. Carey and we got Mr. Eric. What is up, guys?
Hello.
And we got Mr. Darren too. There he is. What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
I can't hear anything for some reason.
Hey, how you doing?
You can't hear anything? Yeah, your mic is low. And then we got Mr. William Powell all the way from the Sci-Fi Center. What's up, buddy? How you guys doing today?
Another week alive.
Yeah.
That's the way you got to look at it sometimes. It's like, hey, we've survived. We're still here. It's 2021. It's been pretty interesting. We're only like we're like 15 days into 2021.
It's 16 days in, and I want a refund already.
Right? Wait a minute. It's supposed to be better. But we got Mr. Neil right here. Up. He's loading.
Hey, don't let this guy on. He's gonna show me up with his setup. I don't want to.
Oh man, I know it's set up.
I thought he was gonna come in on like a jet or something.
We got Mr. Irregular Neil. That's right.
What's going on, everybody?
How you doing? Hey, I apologize, Neil. I know I forgot your question yesterday. Totally. I think it was a little too much vodka. But I think it threw me off because I wanted to divide Carrie's question into two parts because it was like one specifically for me and Brandon, and then one for the panel. So I think that threw me off, and I was like, "Oh wait, I got to all the questions right," and I totally blanked on yours. But we could always play it for tonight if you want to do that. It's perfectly fine.
You can do whatever you want, man. It's all good.
All right, Darren. All right, Darren. Well, can you hear it?
How's everybody else doing?
Yeah, much better.
Good. All right. I know. I was like, "What are you doing, Eric? Set up before you come in."
Hey, no. I realized I forgot this. I forgot
5 hours. Dang, you're gonna have a 5-hour shot right now. Cheers.
I don't know. I mean, it'll all depend on just how long we're supposed to be doing this tonight. Hey, I'm game. I'm game to do it all 5 hours.
I don't know. 4 hours, man.
Okay.
Hey.
Oh man.
Right. Hey, 4 hours. Hey, 4 hours. Life is good. But it can be better.
That's very true. I mean, it's a good impression right there.
It's good, but it can be better.
Yeah, I try.
All right, Darren.
You know what? I'm just realizing how much I didn't like that movie by each passing day.
You're realizing that you didn't like it or liked it?
There's little things about it I didn't like. And there's something about each of these movies, post Batman versus Superman, that I understand why I don't like them. Why Birds of Prey, Shazam. I like Shazam, but it was lacking for me. And the further away they get from what the core arc was supposed to be, the less I care about these movies. Like right now, I don't care about Black Adam.
Yeah,
I sort of care about the Batman because of the trailer, but I don't. I can miss it. I can miss it, and my life would go on just fine. The only thing I liked about MCU is the way they kept their cohesiveness, even though half of those movies were a waste of time. They made this movie a must-see thing. You couldn't skip one. You didn't think you could skip one and still be part of the story. Well, that's why I wasted money on Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that was part of the lure of that. I mean, that's the advantage that you have when you're having like one continuous story that just branches off into little. I mean, not really spin-offs. It adds to it, but I mean, it's like I've always said, it's like it's a branch, and then you got little leaves, and that's all like the individual movies. And then you got the core movies like your Avengers and the movies that are really tied together. And yeah, I mean, it benefited. I mean, that's very true. You felt like anytime that a movie came out, people would be like, what movie do I have to watch before this to make sure that I'm up to date? And yeah, I get that advantage. But at the same time, I do like the fact that they can be individually like their own thing, and the director doesn't have to be stranglehold to like, hey, I gotta you gotta put in a post credit, you gotta do this, you gotta set up this. It's just gonna be like its own thing. So I mean,
that would have worked had they had completed the original story.
Yeah, I'm
not saying there needs to be a 30 movie DC universe. If it was only supposed to be 5 and they completed the 5. But every time I look at any of these characters, Aquaman, Flash, any of these characters, I'm like, you're trying to sell me a brand new car when I still got a lot of good miles on the really cool one that I already bought from you. Well, I get this feeling of I'm moving forward when I really never finished what I started, Yeah. I mean, why should I care about these movies other than the fact that I get to see The Rock,
Well, here's the thing, what I think.
Well, I mean, technically Aquaman, we would have gotten Aquaman like more or less as it was, if Zach had stayed. I mean, Momoa himself said that the Snyder Cut leads directly into Aquaman. So
yeah,
but now Wonder Woman 84 and all these other ones.
Yeah, Wonder Woman. Yeah. I mean, I would say Aquaman's probably the most connected, but yeah, Wonder Woman 84. I mean. Yeah, I know there's people that have their arguments of like how it is still canon. Me personally, I mean, like I made a video about it where I was kind of like,
I'm one of them.
I could see it, and it was just kind of like, I know you are, Eric. What were you gonna say, Darren?
I was gonna say the thing is, do you remember when they released the original slate back before Snyder even left, before Justice League even came out? I think it was like right before Batman vs Superman came out. Shazam was always on the original slate with like the same release date.
Yeah. Well,
So-
yeah, I know that's what's so weird about it. I mean, it's funny how much we know about everything that happened, and there's so much we don't know. I mean, we know just like a little section of it of what happened. But I still remember when like Kevin Smith and Jeff Johns had like a CW special where they were talking about the
and he made it all sound so promising.
Oh
so cool.
man, it was all like glorified and everything was just like
Okay,
it was like
I gotta admit, I was one of those assholes
Yeah.
when I heard
Although,
Jeff Johns was hired on. I was super excited.
Oh yeah, we all were.
I was too, yeah.
Who wasn't? Everybody
Look,
was.
this guy.
Nobody knew what was going to happen.
This guy I worked with, he told me, he's like, I don't know,
Yeah.
because sometimes people that are great writers won't be as good when it comes to the movies. And I was like, it's gonna be fine.
That's Jeff Johns to a fucking T. What we're gonna
And
say?
look,
Eric?
I was
almost
just
every
like,
comic
it's
book writer.
gonna be
Exactly.
fine. And then,
Well, I was gonna say,
Hollywood has screenplay writers. That's why they have producers. That's why they have directors. That's why they have people that are for those jobs. Just because you're good at one thing doesn't necessarily mean good at another one. Mario Puzo was a great writer, right? But he wasn't a director. Francis Ford Coppola directed The Godfather.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Go ahead, Eric.
If you had some really
there you
awesome
go.
scripts,
I mean, like as for
all right, Eric first, and then we'll go to Carrie.
I mean, like, okay, thank you. Now, as for Shazam, like, yes, it was a part of the original lineup, and if I recall correctly, it was scheduled to arrive after Justice League 2. And considering how, like, until fairly recently, like, we all heard that, it was supposed to be Justice League 1, Part 1 and Part 2, Justice League 1 and 2. So, and I believe, like, we've discussed about how the full, like, arc, like, had been like Zach had kind of explored as to whether or not it could be 2 movies instead of 3, and considering how Justice League 1 is going to be a full 4 hours long, I mean, let's be honest, Justice League 2 could easily be that long, if not more, especially if he goes the full miniseries route. So but regardless, if the straightforward fighting Darkseid, and Batman and Darkseid gunning each other down, and then, of course, obviously, it ends with baby Bruce Kent is born, and then Clark puts the blue suit on again. So, with all that in mind, as many have said, it's easily like understandable, like to imagine Shazam being set after that arc is done. Hence, why he's in the blue suit at the end.
And it actually does make sense if you think about it, because Freddy's wearing, he's got merchandise. There's merchandise for all the characters. It's like, okay, they have all come together. Everybody's like, hey, everybody knows about all these characters. I mean, obviously they probably know about Batman for a while, and but Superman, and everything. But I think like it does make sense that it was probably supposed to be after the first Justice League, because we know that Snyder was meant to it's going to lead into Justice League being assembled, and Wayne Manor is going to be that Hall of Justice type setting. What were we going to say, Carrie?
Well, it's one thing for like Johns to be like a good writer, and he could maybe like turn in a few good scripts, but he shouldn't have been the one to try and oversee everything, to like coordinate directors and stuff like that, because obviously that is what shot him in the foot. And to go back to maybe what Will was talking about a moment ago, like I know for me, what ultimately really hurts me from really loving either Shazam or Birds of Prey as much as I feel like I would like to, is it just seems like they are purposely dancing around being explicitly connected to the other things. Like they're paying, I say it's like they're paying lip service to being in the same universe, as opposed to like explicitly showing it. Like, just one frame of reference of Jared Leto's Joker, like his face, rather than from behind, would have made even a little bit of difference, whereas the first Suicide Squad movie, you have Affleck here, and you have, the cameo with the Flash. And so like that, those are the kind of things that helps it all feel connected. Yeah.
That killed
and if I can and onto that.
Their unwillingness.
Well, if I can and onto
that version of the Joker was what killed that movie, because you had a derivative character, which Harley Quinn is. She's a derivative character of the Joker, who is a derivative character. So you're two removed, and you don't have the main reason. The main plot is her breaking up with him, and you don't have him in it. They were rushing to run away from the core of Snyder Verse so fast that they gave up every advantage that universe had. That's why here's what I want them to do. I want them, and I know how much everybody would like to have Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck and all these guys on there. I say scrap all that, and here's a couple reasons why. You go down to zero. You continue on with his story, but you continue it on HBO Max, and if you have to, do it with different actors, because then you take the control away from WB. And here's another thing you do: you can make a series. One of the reasons why you're probably going to get a 4-hour movie instead of a series broken up is because how the actors' rights and all the guilds and all the technological madness goes. But if you hire brand new actors for a series and their original content is for a series, it can still be the same Superman that Henry Cavill plays, but he's under the control of HBO Max and those people. You get it out of Walter Hamada's hands. You get it into AT&T Warner Media's hands, especially after you show them the numbers of Zack Snyder's Justice League. Otherwise, we're going to continue to deal with this. They're not going to let go of Walter Hamada unless he does something egregious. And they're doing just good enough to warrant a lot of these mainstays staying around. So what's more important, the familiar faces or the story?
That is the question. What were we going to say, Eric?
Just to jump in.
Jump in, Neil. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say
No,
like
where did
sorry. I was gonna say like to
No, okay. Eric, go first because you have.
I was just saying like to
and then we'll go to Neil.
onto what. Yeah. I was just gonna like yes and onto like what Carrie said about Birds of Prey. Like yes, on the one hand, Birds of Prey kind of like it really like it almost makes it a point to not have had Jared Leto, even though like it's kind of like back of his head or whatever, like you don't really see him, so he could be either way. But there's this whole thing like in the synopsis of the movie, they made a point to say this is a Gotham without Batman, and instantly that made people think about what we heard in the trailers for Justice League, that hey, where is the Batman? Like the Gotham Bat is a no show. The Vigilante is a no show. So again, it could easily fit as like taking place directly before Justice League and directly after Suicide Squad, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But either way, now as far as recasting for Zack Snyder, are you saying like maybe Zack Snyder should recast the crew, or is that what you're suggesting?
No, keep those actors.
No, better not.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're gonna go forward with the story.
Yeah, of course.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
Yeah.
All right,
as far as I'm concerned, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Neil?
Yeah.
No, so I joined in late on the topic here. You guys just talking about continuity of the whole universe, or where they're going with it? Where are we at here in the combo?
A little bit, yeah.
I don't want to give you the wrong.
No, yeah, pretty much like a continuity. And then Carrie was saying that like Shazam, and some of these other movies are kind of dancing around like, oh, is it connected? Like, because when you watch Shazam, it's
he's right.
Yeah. They do. They are dancing around.
I mean, to go forward with it, I mean, we're not going to see the actors that are in this. That's coming. We're not going to see Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, and all that come back to finish Zack Snyder's arc if they ever do that. I feel their best route is to go animation, honestly. And then if you want, go with that what if kind of real life. Did you see that off? I think I saw it on Screen Rant. That picture of Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, and Ben Affleck. In that kind of like what if real life animation.
Oh yeah, we've talked about that. Like that's always going to be on the table.
Okay, yeah.
When it came to the Wonder Woman 1854 image, it's like somebody asked Snyder, would you be open to doing like an animated version of that? And I'm like, yeah. And I think even Garza said like, what if like he was able to do that, but it'd be a different actress, or something like that. There's so many questions when it comes
to
the
voice act.
Well, it didn't help.
It would be funny. It would be.
Go ahead, Carrie. All right. I think there's a little delay for Eric, but yeah.
Go ahead, didn't help that there seemed to be this.
Yeah, you're fine.
Like the directors were consciously, and maybe it was a directive from the top down, but like there just seemed to be this avoid saying we're a reboot or a sequel or a prequel or whatever. They like were avoiding any kind of key words that you could use to talk about how you're in continuity. Like in one of the interviews, I don't remember how it was said exactly, but someone like for Birds of Prey, like someone asked Kathy Ann, like, could this Harley have been in a relationship with Heath Ledger's Joker? And she was like, yeah, she might have. And I'm like, you're the director. You're the one who's supposed to make the decision of what's connected and what's not. So if you can't decide definitively about this is coming from Jared Leto's Joker or coming from Heath Ledger's Joker, like, you clearly don't have a sense of how this fits anywhere. You just, I mean, I think she's probably just focused on the movie, but like, I just feel like you ought to do a little bit of extra diligence as far as, you know, I don't think it hurts to say, yeah, she was in a relationship with Jared Leto's Joker, but they're broken up and we're telling that story. Yeah. But to say, like, waffle around and say, like, yeah, she may have been it might have been Heath's Joker that got turned her into Harley Quinn. I don't know. Like, to me, that just tells me you don't know you don't have the context figured out.
Well, they're non-committal. But here's the thing: since Game of Thrones in it, I don't know if you guys saw that article. HBO in general has lost 40% of their core demographic, the 35 to 48 graphic. If you look at the overlapping demographic as far as these types of movies, that's a perfect demographic that they could fit with this. They could take these characters whose IP they own and really go places that the CW cannot go, that obviously Warner Brothers is not willing to go, and you'd have a lot more freedom. And just the buzz with who's going to play who would be enough, you know, water cooler talk. But that's something that the HBO Max is really lacking. They lack something that has you blown over till Monday morning saying, wow, did you see that last night? When the dragons burnt everybody to a crisp, everybody was talking about that. When the main character lost his head at the end of, you know, episode 10, spoiler alert, it's been 11 years, but everybody was talking about that. There is nothing that HBO Max has right now that anybody's talking about on that type of anticipation basis. So I think, be honest with you, judging on the numbers that Justice League does, whatever metrics that they have, the next step, no matter what, should be an episodic approach, no matter who's playing what. Oh, yeah. It's still Superman. It's still Wonder Woman. It's still, you know, Aquaman. And you get people to play those characters along that same story arc, though. You don't change the story arc. But like I said, in order to have it episodic, change the actors if you have to.
True. What do you say, Darren? Like, what do you think about all that?
Okay.
I think, honestly, HBO Max is still kind of...
So I can't change the actors.
Getting their feet off the ground. Because they've only been around for, what, 8 months? So, and they're not even international yet.
Yeah. I know. That's the big thing.
So
how much is it going to spike when it goes up that high?
Yeah, like, so I really think
that's going to be a while, though.
I think once they go international, and once like their whole dual release movies start kicking in, and then they get a few more like original shows in there, like the Green Lantern show and other stuff they got planned, I think they're going to be like right up there with Netflix.
I'm hoping that's the whole idea.
One thing about the international thing,
certainly hope
those deals are long. Those aren't 2-3 month deals. Those deals that keep them out of going into international, those deals are long. Yeah. So there's a reason why they didn't start out international. But once again, you get Green Lantern, all right, and you start getting these other tier characters. You still have the Holy Trinity sitting there. And original content is what's going to drive these streaming services. I don't care how many movies you have on there, even Netflix. Netflix has original content, and these other streaming services have original series content. There is no way around that. Otherwise, I can just, as soon as WandaVision is over, or as soon as Mandalorian is over, or as soon as I'm done watching whatever, I just cut it. There's nothing to keep me around. So you have to have these things set up.
Where's that clicking coming from? I think that
and,
might.
And on that note, well, on that note about the original content, is anyone here, like all of us, like who have HBO Max, are any of you guys like interested in any way in checking out that show Flight Attendant that's original to HBO Max?
No, it's great.
Just out of curiosity. Oh, there you go.
No great interest. Show. Yeah. No interest.
Yeah. And there's that. Yeah.
haven't watched.
And then there's that other.
Show.
Yeah. And then there's the other one, I guess it's a rom-com or whatever with Anna Kendrick that's also an exclusive. I forget what it's called, but that one with Anna Kendrick in it.
I didn't watch that.
Because like
I mean, when it comes to
something
HBO
like that.
Max original content, I mean, Raised by Wolves, fantastic. Flight Attendant was fantastic. It's got some docs on there. I watched the Bee Gees doc. That was fantastic.
I'll tell you what I saw. One thing that I saw that I thought was amazing that I didn't realize existed was the full extended cut of an Independence Day, which I didn't even know. Yeah, I didn't know that it existed, that there was this extended cut. Though I saw it, I was like, it's full of these. Yeah, what it is it's full of these little character moments that it was one of those things. I remember like back in 2019 when he had me on, and I was talking about how Lord of the Rings, both the theatrical cut and the extended cut are both arguably director's cuts, and Peter Jackson himself said it. And the reason was, when you go to a theater and see it, you want that quicker pace so that you won't get impatient. But when you've already seen it, then you can sit back and watch this extended cut where you can just hang out with the characters more. And that's basically what you got with this extended cut of Independence Day. And I really got a kick out of it. Like, there's more Jeff Goldblum stuff, which I'm going to get a kick out of regardless.
Of course. It's
all right. Hey,
yeah.
All that stuff that you guys just mentioned, what does it all have in common?
What do you mean?
All the Flight Attendant, Love Life.
It's all original content. Original content?
It's all not universally
all
known.
Exclusive to HBO Max.
Do we have an A, B, C, D, and E?
Hold on. Like I said, Flight Attendant is you got to go with your universally known IPs. I mean, it took them how many years to build up Game of Thrones to the point where it was at? I mean, to the point, and that took all of the entire existence of that series. You pretty much have a magic bag of a Superman. Everybody, as long as they've been on this planet, knows who the Holy Trinity is. That should be the face of your operation right there. When I click into HBO Max, that's what I should see.
Well, I think that's what they were trying to do. I think that's what they were kind of doing, like Wonder Woman 84, because anytime that I probably even still now, if I click onto the app, you see like just Wonder Woman 84, just a big, huge poster, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Darren? You cut out.
But like,
I mean,
okay, your mic keeps cutting out, dude. I don't know what's going on.
Well, yeah, like they've been making original content. They haven't had the stuff that's like sucked you in like Game of Thrones did or Watchmen, or they've put out 3 seasons of Westworld, but which has been a big hit for them. But like no one, I mean, I don't know what the latest is on the next season, so there's like too much lag time in between those big projects, to
Sopranos, you know what I mean?
Going on. What's that?
Where's my Sopranos? Where's my, Entourage? Where are my shows? They're not doing this.
Well, I'm just saying though. I mean, like
with HBO. I mean, they've been at this a while.
Have you watched Raised by Wolves or Flight Attendant?
I'm watching Raised by Wolves. I'm not knocking these shows. Quality-wise, I'm not knocking their quality. But when you're talking about attracting people, what do you have in your arsenal that is the most attractive?
Yeah,
that is right there. That gives everybody the table. It's none of those. They were all great. It is none of those. Yeah, like I said,
point.
Something like Friends. There's a reason why Friends are rolling into their 60s, making more money off the show than they did then, because that IP is worth something. When you have an IP like that is worth something, use it. And HBO Max, I don't see them as doing it right. It's too much of a mixture, and there's just too many people that have their hands in it. Like I said, Jeff Johns' biggest weakness is not the fact that the guy can't write. He can. He's an excellent creator. But he cannot take over for someone else's vision. That's why we're at where we're at with this whole thing. If he starts his own vision, finishes his own vision, he's great. But if he tried to usurp someone else's, then you have a mess. And you see the weakness between a comic book writer and a screenwriter.
Yeah,
but HBO really needs to go forward. They need to go all in with their main IP.
You're right. All right, we got a couple more people coming in. We got Brad. We got Brad, and we got Phil. What's up? How's it going? How you guys doing today?
Looks like Phil's at WKRP in Cincinnati.
No, nice hoodie there, Phil.
Cincinnati WKRP.
I mean, you know what? Let me stand up real quick. I'll show you guys the back.
Okay, make sure you have your pants on. Yeah. Okay, as long as he has his pants on. Okay, we're good. All right, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, we're supposed to be wearing pants?
Nice.
Nice.
No, you don't have to wear pants. Like when you stand up.
Well,
warn us. If you're
all
not
right.
wearing pants. That's all.
All right. Well, you didn't say anything about that.
Well, you know what? Cincinnati. Well, Cincinnati WKRP aside, just add one more person, and we got the Brady Bunch.
Very true, and I think Neil will be the Alice. Neil will be Alice, man. That'd be cool. You're right there.
Up.
Man, I'm trying to.
Okay, building on what you said.
Somebody's clicking.
I don't know what that clicking is.
Yeah.
No, it's
Karen. I hear it too.
You hear that clicking? That's coming from you. I don't know why exactly that's happening, but it's like going.
Okay, it's not me. I muted myself.
Like when I mute your mic, it goes away. So I don't know exactly why that's happening.
Yeah,
that's weird.
I don't know. Are you on your phone, right?
Yeah, a little bit crackling.
You're typing.
I don't know what.
Clickety clack.
Weird. I don't know why that makes that noise.
Yeah.
See that?
Well, while we figure that out, like to build on what. Yeah.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
While we're doing that, like to build on what you said about the whole, like, how like HBO Max really needs to focus on like the big like known content. I mean, like Disney Plus is like now expanding, like going balls to the wall with the Star Wars stuff. So I mean, yeah, we have to like really focus on the DC. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this is why HBO Max, why Kilar and Sarnoff should go balls to the wall on the Snyder Verse. I mean, give Batfleck, the Batfleck, the whole Batman versus Deathstroke, and say you have carte blanche to do whatever the heck you want with that two-parter, whatever you want it to be. And honestly, and I've been saying this a lot, with all of the, as far as like this debacle with the Flash movie is concerned, that should be even more motivation to bring Rick Famuyiwa back on and say, do your Flash thing and expand Cyborg as much as you want to make him the co-lead, make it Cyborg and the Flash miniseries, and just go balls to the wall, make it the way you want to make it.
I'd actually want him to just do a full-on.
Do whatever you want. And
I feel like Famuyiwa would be more suited for Cyborg more than anything.
Yeah. I mean, he's shown like how great he can be with Mandalorian, like crazy. I mean, like Mandalorian, his episode was the Bill Burr episode, right? I think it was it. Yes, excellent. I mean, that was probably.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, the season finale was obviously
and it was two co-leads.
Right. But when it came to that Bill Burr episode, that's probably my second favorite episode. I mean, that tension at the end before,
and frankly, it was, exactly. And frankly, it was as if Burr was like the co-lead of that episode along with Mando.
True.
It was the co-lead with the man. So in other words, like go do his.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. It's like you're
do his.
Well, I've said this many times when like you even mentioned like the Batfleck series. It's like give them the Batfleck series. It's like I'm pretty sure that they want to, but it's up to the man who wears the cowl. And if you look, he has a lot of projects that are in the future. So it's like you're gonna take like half a year to like get back in the bat suit. I mean, that's the thing. It's like
all right, that is a mistake.
Maybe he wants
that is a mistake to wait on him. I love Ben Affleck. But if you have a story to tell and he's not available, continue to tell your story. You cannot wait around. These guys are always going to be busy. He's an Academy Award-winning director and screenplay writer. He's always going to be busy. You can get somebody, and like I said, if he's available, great. But if he's not, get somebody and move on as quickly as you can. I mean, don't wait. What's the advantage in waiting?
Don't hold it on.
Nostalgia, great.
They keep telling us we should move on. Some people will, but not us.
But your
general audience, right with that, because if you hold it hostage, you're missing an opportunity.
That's it. Move on. Get a new Wonder Woman. Get a new Superman. If you can't get Cavill, and go a step beyond. Do whatever the hell you want. If you want to be cutting throats and taking out, do whatever you want. Tell your story the way you can't do it on CW, the way you can't do it in the movie, you can't do it on a cartoon. Do it HBO style. I'm telling you, man, that would be a great series, and then lead it on.
Yeah. What do you have to say about this, Phil?
You know what? I'm a little of two minds about the whole thing because it honestly kind of boils down to what the actor wants to do, who they want to collaborate with, and what platform you ultimately want to put the medium onto. I mean, Batman versus Deathstroke, yeah, that's pretty ideal, either in the form of a 2.5-hour movie or even in the form of like a 6-8 episode arc a la Game of Thrones style. That would be pretty sweet. But honestly, I think as far as that specifically, it really does boil down to what Ben Affleck wants to do. I mean, he's putting the suit back on for the Flash. So that in of itself tells me that he likes being Batman. He just came out and said he loves being Batman for his kid. So kids, I stand corrected. Sorry, his children. So that to me, it really just speaks volumes to how much he does like playing the role. Whether or not Flash is the last time, okay, whatever. But honestly, if Ben Affleck decides to put on the suit, let him.
Exactly. He wants to be Batman. Henry Cavill wants to be Superman. Amy Adams clearly wants to be Lois, the way she's been talking about it.
Like, she just brought up a really great point, because remember that article that made the rounds, I think in 2018, Henry Cavill out as Superman.
Oh yeah, there was all that crap now.
Right, and it's like he's back now, so it's a multiverse. You know, that's the easy button word of it, but still, that allows Warner to operate on the way they've been operating as a studio for however long, in the terms of let the filmmaker do what they want, but it also gives the filmmakers the creative freedom to not have the hassle of what we've all witnessed over the last 3 or 4 or 5 years. So honestly, I mean, it's kind of a damn if you do, damn if you don't situation. But honestly, I look forward to seeing who gets to come on and doing what they want to do. Now, I mean, there's been a lot of stuff that's been announced in the past, and we've just kind of like scoffed at it. I mean, who remembers? Isn't Steven Spielberg doing Blackhawks or something like that?
Oh, he's supposed to be doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like,
I missed that. Yeah. I was getting excited for that. I'm not going to lie.
One sec, Bradley, you haven't really said anything. So what do you think about all this that we're talking about?
Yeah.
I'm definitely down for more Batfleck.
Yeah.
Definitely down for
There
give
you go.
me freaking 10 movies. Give me 3 goddamn television shows. Give me more Ben Affleck Batman.
I think when it comes to people wanting Ben Affleck as Batman, it's pretty much it's 100% that. I mean, that's for sure. But it's up to the man in the cowl that wants, that it's up to really him that if he wants to do it. Because,
I mean, it comes off like he wants to come back, but it has to be on his terms. Like, it has to be the way I want to do it and nothing else.
He went through a lot of shit when he was writing it, and
well, the thing,
he might as well get
you got to look at the whole thing too, as well. It's like when he came on for Batman vs Superman, what happened? It got cut down a lot. It got cut down, and then when it came to Suicide Squad, same thing. Got cut down. It's a different movie, and then when it came to Justice League, even worse. So it's like everything that he's involved, and I even brought this up when I talked about supporting the Flash movie. I'm like, I feel sorry for Ben Affleck, because it seems like anytime he puts on that cowl, with whatever movie it's about, it's like something is happening. I mean, luckily when it comes to the Flash, it's happening beforehand and not like, it's not happening like during the whole thing. Yeah.
Ezra Miller too.
Yeah. I know. It's like, it's just, you're right. Because because they were in, that's right. He was in BVS and
Flash movies.
But yeah, exactly. So it's all interesting.
But definitely one of the like, I'm in control of this, right? Like, if that's not clear from the get-go, then he wouldn't do it. Like, so I think that would have to be like the major stipulation. Hopefully HBO Max would be like, we're behind whatever you want to do it, however you want to do it. We just want to see more of your Batman. We like your script. If you want to expand on it, whatever you feel like, it's all you. Like, so he would just have to have that guarantee, like in writing and everything. And I really feel bad for the Busciettis at this point for what's going on. Like, because I mean, obviously, I feel like DC fans,
they got to be pissed off.
That panel at DC fandom really left me with the impression.
That's a nice word.
That like them and Christina Hodgson, all of them, they were like, okay, we know exactly where we're going. They're on this. It just seemed like they were on the same page and like simpatico with the story and the theme and the tone. And and he knows how to do ensemble actors really, really well. So I have no doubt he could have had a really great scenes between, Ray and Ezra. I mean, everything that tells me how good he would be with the Flash is there in the hit movies. So So I think and I bet he probably has been on good terms with Hamada, because Hamada was involved in the production of the Hit movies. So I bet he's
on those movies.
really. It's probably a lot of tension for him right now and his sister.
Yeah, I'm really surprised he got an extension.
And which is why I am saying, which is why I am saying, honestly, with all this controversy, and as you said, Dave, like, it's gotta be pissing off Ezra and Ben and the Muschietis. I'll be absolutely clear. I guarantee you, it's only a matter of time before Killar and Sarnoff have a meeting and say, yeah, this is not going to work. Hamada either has to give a public apology to Ray, or he's got to move back off of DC and back to New Line.
They're never going to do that. They're never going to do that. You're not going to get a public apology.
Want to bet?
That's like
he's going to be moved.
To do the same thing.
I would bet everything I'm sitting amidst right now.
Then he's going to be moved.
And to be honest with you, that's the kind of stuff that happens in a courtroom in mediation. That's not really for us to really know.
And that
the conversation that's going to come with Pilar is going to come after Justice League errors and the leverage that the people behind that have in the sheer volume of numbers.
Yeah, fair enough.
If the numbers are there, then Keelar is going to look at this and he's going to look at that and he's going to be like, I came in here for streaming. I came in here to revolutionize this part of the company as an online and streaming content. And I just had something that just knocked that out of the park. That's where this battle is going to be won. That's where any battle anybody's fighting right now, it doesn't get won until Justice League airs on HBO Max.
It's going to be.
You just hit that out of the park. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Spot on. That's a spot on statement right there. Because everything hinges on Justice League right now.
Yeah,
we can go back and forth about everything, but if Justice League isn't well, then no expanded anything. And they'll just kind of do what they want.
To have that kind of pressure again.
It's kind of ironic.
Of course it does. You knew it was coming. It is ironic
pirating.
right there, definitely.
But at least that's something that a fan can control.
Short, no pirating, people.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
I can't control
no pirating people
meetings that they're having at
no
Warner.
pirating.
I can control fandom, you know. I can watch the show and I can get other people to watch it. That's just something that a fan controls. That's really our only concern. All this other stuff that they may or may not be doing outside of our view doesn't mean anything. If we're watching on or March, whatever it is, that is where our power is. That's where the only power we've ever needed. It's the power that got us to this point.
It's very true. I mean,
all the noise that's going on this week.
Yeah, exactly. My whole thing is like, okay, what's going to happen after, like, when we finally get to see Zack Snyder's Justice League, which we don't have a set date yet, and it's all, and a lot of people were freaking out when it came to Godzilla versus Kong, taking up that, what is it, 28th,
March 28th.
Yeah, everybody thought that's when Zack Snyder's Justice League was coming.
Yeah, I know.
It was like, okay, well, let's relax. We don't know for sure yet. What?
Yeah.
I mean, it's really.
Honestly, either like.
So,
Neil, you had.
Let
honestly,
let Neil talk first. You said you were going to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, go
you have something?
No. I'm just saying. I know everybody was going crazy, kind of over that whole thing with Godzilla being moved up, but there really hasn't been that much talk about it. I mean, this week has been full of old news, new news. Then they dropped the bomb with Ray Fisher, and they kind of sprinkled that in there and everything. But, you look at it like this. This kind of can attract the general audience that knows nothing about Justice League or Zack Snyder or any of this. And this kind of could get some traffic for that movie from people that don't know anything about it. And if it's and if they see like Ray Fisher's performance and it is the heart of the movie and he does not and he kills it, I mean, that almost would force hands to just be like, we have to bring him back, because now you're getting an outcry from people that were never in this fight and like, wow, look at all this stuff that's gone on. What are they doing to this guy? Look at the job he did in this movie. Why wouldn't you want him in another movie or a series? Vice versa, So, there's always a double word to everything that goes on. So, this, all this stuff that's going on might not be that bad at the end of the day. I mean, this is like quite a war that guy is fighting. He lost a little bit of a battle, but then he comes back with what he needs to come back with. So, And even in the streaming war, everybody's worried about HBO Max. Just give it time.
And honestly,
give it time. It's all right.
Yeah, exactly. And exactly. And Guy, can you stand on to that? Honestly, why is everyone acting like there's going to be some kind of competition between Godzilla versus Kong and Zack Snyder's Justice League? Because as you pointed out, Dave, like it's not as if Justice League is going to come out in theaters at the same time. I mean, as of right now, Justice League is going to be on HBO Max and Godzilla versus Kong is going to be in theaters. Go to the theaters and see it, and then come back to and then watch Snyder Justice League on HBO Max. It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
one could come out at the beginning of March, and one could come out at the end of March. There's a whole 2 or 3 week or however long period in between releases. So like,
or Justice League come out, Easter.
Exactly.
Weekend. Hey, Resurrection
come out on the same day.
Which would be perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, one way or the other, it's coming.
Exactly,
so I don't know why everybody's losing their minds.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
end of March releases. So
when it even came to like that little HBO Max like reel that they released today, people were like, "Why isn't Zack Snyder Justice League in there?" It's like, whoa, pump brakes. We're okay. It's all they're talking
Patience.
about. Patience. Releases. Zack Snyder Justice League. It's an exclusive movie for HBO Max. So of course it wasn't going to be in there because and then people were like, well, that means it's not going to be released in theaters. I'm like, well, let's hold back on that.
Not yet.
I think Snyder will have something up his sleeve when it comes to people seeing it in IMAX. I mean, that's my whole thing. I mean, when I mentioned that in my video today before, I'm like, the guy was like taking notes, like when he was on my stream, the Deck the Hall stream. He talked about, we were talking about IMAX, Swenson mentioned that, hey, there's an IMAX here. And then he was like, oh yeah, Honolulu would be a good spot. And then Scott, he said like, yeah, in Alabama, they got one too. And he mentioned
one here in Vegas. We got several in Vegas.
And he wrote it down. It's almost like
got several in Florida.
Maybe there might be some kind of plan where he's gonna like try to get it into like, it'll be like an event thing in IMAX theaters. They're like, hey, go see this fucking crazy Justice League movie in IMAX, and then I don't know. Like I said, it's not like I don't know anything. I'm just kind of I'm thinking
Sean O'Connell mentioned on one of his podcasts a while back on the Real Blend show that like Kevin Smith did his roadshow tour.
I said that in my video too. I said that.
So he could easily do an event like that, SnyderCon 2.0, but like multiple cities, over the course of like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, I think I made the joke. I'm like, I think Snyder's a little too busy to just be like, let's go on the road. I got the IMAX wheels in the back. Let's go. And I'm like, maybe not that, but maybe he can coordinate something where there could be like these events, and then of course, hopefully he'll have something here and have kind of like a Snyder Con-esque. I'm sure he's gonna release. He's gonna be playing it here, and
they can put a Zoom call on an IMAX screen. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna. So that's why I'm like, it's not gonna get that traditional release like all these other movies. It's not gonna get that traditional release where it's in theaters and then it's gonna be on HBO Max for only like 30 days. It's going to be exclusively on HBO Max. Once it shows up, it's going to be there forever, I guess. But then when it comes to like theatrical, it's not going to have a run. But I think maybe there's going to be something where he's going to have like some exclusive thing with HBO Max. That's what I think.
I think you're going to see if the numbers are
in this 4-hour movie.
HBO Max.
Wait. What? All right. First, go ahead, William. What were you gonna say?
If the numbers are well, even though Zach, said and Hamada said, some of these guys said that there's, the cul-de-sac and all this, we don't have any plans for anymore. Money talks. If it does well and the buzz is well and the buzz around it leading into it is great, then money talks. I mean, that's why nothing any of these guys says means anything up to and including Hamada. Because A, he's just an employee, and 2, it's a business. It's a business. There's a reason why we're getting a Game of Thrones prequel that I didn't ask for, but it's coming because they're going to go with the demographics. They're going to go with the numbers. So everything changes once we get it on the screen. And like I said, even if it's not Zack Snyder himself, If he puts together a crew of people that he trusts to carry on these projects and carry on his vision, that's best. What they really need to do is they need to take this and once it hits the screen or once it hits our little screen, they really need to have announcements ready to make. They need to have a contingency plan. If it sucks, you won't hear about it no more. But if it doesn't suck, there needs to be a plan that keeps us going. Because once this movie is over with, since it's not a series, you don't want to have. It's like when things air on Netflix, when they air all 8 episodes and you binge watch them. Guess what? You're not doing every day. You're not talking about them every day. You need people talking about this content every day.
No, it's dead.
And that's what they really need to have ready once this is successful.
Yeah. Word of mouth, man. Word of mouth. What do you say, Phil?
Exactly. And if you want to max up,
hold on. Let's get Phil.
That guy.
I was just going to say, I'm right there with you. You know, I was actually just thinking about this not too long ago. Word of mouth is ultimately what is make or break for a lot of these movies more often than not. I mean, ultimately, look at how Wonder Woman performed back in 2017. It was a combination of word of mouth and it's really great box office all around the world. And it just did wonders for the studio, giving them the confidence for what they thought they had in Justice League. And then, well, yeah. Anyway.
Makes sense.
I really like the idea of Godzilla and versus Kong and Justice League in the same month. I mean, that's really a win for HBO Max. I don't know why they tried to put that story out there. If it was trying to cover something, it's really just doing HBO Max a favor.
Yeah.
But as far as carrying the story forward, again, let's wait and see. Let's see how this does. If Wonder Woman 84 is an indicator of anything, and look at how fast they fast track Wonder Woman 3, like the day after. I mean, it would be incredibly foolish to just sit that cultist, going back to that cultist comment. Like it's incredibly foolish to just go, that's just kind of a one and done thing. And it's like, this is DC IP. This is DC, whether you like it or not. So one way or another, you can revisit it, whether it be in a television series, whether it be in a comic book, whether it be in another movie.
And I remember
Amazon story.
The Amazon what? Oh yeah, what's going on with that?
Yes.
That's another thing.
Well, no, but can you imagine Amazon stories told in a Game of Thrones fashion?
Oh yeah, it'd be great. That'd be awesome.
Oh wow! You just sold me on it. I wasn't that sold on it, but you just sold me on that.
There it is. No,
can't do that on CW.
I mean, it's.
Go ahead, Eric.
And frankly, while we're on the subject of maxing, and while we're on the subject of maxing out this this maximum reaction, if it's very successful, then they're not only are they going to greenlight Justice League 2 right away like they did with Wonder Woman 3, and if they want to maintain all this money coming in, all these viewers coming in, it's got to be with the original cast. The same cast.
I disagree there.
No recasting. Sorry.
I think they need to cast.
They want to max it out. They want to make. They need to make. They need to maintain everything as much as possible. They need to maintain everything as much as possible in order to make everything safe. They need to maintain it. Just like with Wonder Woman 3, they're not going to recast Wonder Woman 3. They're not going to recast Justice League 2.
Well, you're talking about apples and oranges. Though. I would love for that to be the reality, but here's the thing: it's called greed. If this does well, they're going to take those faces.
Exactly, which is why they're going to
hold on. They're going to take those faces that you just watched, and they're going to continue on that platform that's called the big screen once we can go back. And greed is going to say, I can make my money here and I can make it here. So I'm going to continue along 2 roads. But if I can't take 2 people, 2 places, and 2 production schedules and all that at once, then guess what? I'm still going to go down those 2 roads. They're not going to leave that money in the ring. All right. If it can happen, great. But if you're going to go make Wonder Woman movies and you're going to make Cavill movies on the big screen and you're going to shoot for HBO Max, you may have to deal with the reality that those people can't be in the same place. If they can do it, great. But reality is they're going to get that money. They're going to get that movie money and they're going to get that HBO Max money.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on what they want to do on the film side. I mean, if the story about J.J. Abrams wanting to do a Superman movie is true, but he's not sure if he wants to do it with Henry or if he wants to do a reboot like what Matt Reeves is getting to do. So if he goes the Matt Reeves direction and says, I'm going to start a new actor and do a new story, new content, new all that kind, then what's Henry going to do? He's like, well, I still want to be Superman. Well, then give him an HBO Max series.
if that works out that way, that's great.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know, but with the budget,
I'd like to see more things in series
And
form.
honestly, if he's going to
flesh
reboot,
stuff out.
honestly, and honestly, if JJ is going to reboot Superman, if JJ is going to reboot Superman, it's almost a given. Like the perfect thing for him to do is to bring out of the mothballs his old Superman flyby script, because we all know how balls to the wall Superman flyby that script was.
Insane.
Do it.
It's a little.
Do it, JJ.
People have read it, so he might be like, "It's been out there. He doesn't want people to know. He didn't like people knowing about that Cumberbatch was Khan. Even though everyone knew it.
Oh man, I remember. I bet my dad like a 12-pack of Corona. Like he was like, "No way that he's Khan." I'm like, "I guarantee you." Like I just have this feeling. And then we were watching it, and it was starting to like hint at it. I just remember him going, "Oh shit." I'm like, "You're about to owe me a 12-pack, aren't you?" And he's all, "I think so." And I'm like, "I told you." I'm like, he was trying to pull a fast one. I know JJ. I was like, he was trying to but everybody knew. That's the thing.
And there's also content and quality differences between a series and a movie. I mean, the perfect example is two things I really love. Watchmen. I love Zack Snyder's Watchmen, but I love the HBO version that came out. The difference being is, for instance, you couldn't tell the Squid story in a 3-hour movie. He had to rewrite that to make it work for him. But if you have 9 episodes, you can tell a backstory of something, you can tell the middle part of something, and you can tell the culmination of something. You have time. You don't have to fit a year-long storyline into a 3-hour movie. So there's a lot of things you can do content-wise with a series. Me, personally, I would prefer that they just move on with the Snyder Verse, HBO Max exclusively, and let these other guys reboot. Let Flashpoint reboot whatever the hell these guys want to do. If they want to do powder puff, G-rated Superman that smiles all the time, great. There's a market for that.
That's CW.
Guess what? Give me my dark, gritty, Zod, neck snapping Clark Kent Kyle that I have down here. There's enough for everybody. I just say make a line of delineation to where if you're going to carry on with a darker storyline, it really has to be on HBO Max, because you can just do more. You can do more. You can show tits. You can show ass. You can break necks. You can foul people. You can behead people. You can kill your main character. I mean, you can do anything. Game of Thrones, as told, and even Sopranos. You can do anything you want on HBO, and you don't have to hold back. And then somebody said, "Oh, that's too dark. That's not my Superman." Well, guess what? Turn it to the Cartoon Network or CW, or go see a Brandon Routh Superman movie if you want G-rated Clark Kent. That's fine, but
DC content.
The best way to go forward with this version of the Snyder Verse is exclusively with HBO Max. To be honest with you, I almost don't want to see it on the big screen anymore, because of the fact that there's just too many contingencies. Are we going to have this actor? Or when's this guy going to be done? This guy's too busy. Is this guy going to be controlled? Who wants to deal with that?
Which blogger's going to write which hit piece?
Yeah.
There really are too many factors.
None of those factors matter at HBO Max.
If I can,
the money doesn't matter. So that's my wish.
And if I can build on that, like if you want to go full balls to the wall on the HBO Max Snyderverse. I mean, I've talked about this a little bit before, but imagine the Snyderverse Batman Beyond, but instead of Terry McGinnis, it's Bruce Kent, because we know the old shirt, we know the shirt of like the Batman symbol hovering over baby Bruce Kent. So imagine that's. Yeah, and that's symbolic, and that's, for me, that's very symbolic of his death. Means his legacy is passing on to the son of Clark and Lois. So, Batman Beyond is Bruce Kent. Like several years later, he is the new Batman. A half Kryptonian.
Can't mess with Batman Beyond, dude.
You want it? Just give it a new name. Give it a new name.
Cannot mess with Batman Beyond.
Give it a new name if you want. Calm down. Give it a new. Give it a new name if you want, but it is in the future.
I don't know. I don't like it. I mean, if it's he's gonna have powers, so he doesn't need the suit. He doesn't need the Batman Beyond suit or anything.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said,
why not? Why not? Because
I mean, I like the idea.
Like the Wonder Woman golden armor.
Like
it's kind of cool to have like a Bruce Wayne, like maybe teaching Bruce Kent like to do something, but not in like a Batman Beyond kind of setting. I don't know. I'm not really.
Bruce Wayne's dead. Well,
That's
except Bruce,
right. He would be dead.
except Bruce Wayne's kind of dead.
Yeah, that's very true.
So maybe just whoever, maybe it's just whoever is connected with Batman. It's just whoever's connected with Batman that doesn't die in Batfleck's film.
You don't even need to do that.
Whoever will be the one who survives, who does not die, is the one who mentors him in the whole Gotham stuff.
I don't know.
There's Damian Wayne.
What do you think
Whether
about
it's
Darren, you're back? What do you think about that idea? How do you feel about that? Oh, you're not having your microphone's not working. Dang it.
Hi, Bradley.
All right, what about now?
Okay, it's working now.
Oh man, that's gotta be frustrating.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Batman Beyond is one of those things that I hold dear to my heart. Okay. So I want to see if first time Batman Beyond's live action, I want it to be Terry McGinnis and old man Bruce Wayne. That it's just one of those things that I've
can't be Bat. Can't be Batgirl. Can't be Michael Keaton's Batman with Batgirl.
No.
Well, I mean, like, wasn't it? It was. What's her name? We know her name. Wasn't she hinting at the fact that might be the case or something like that, or somebody yeah. I know. I remember. I think Darren and I have had the conversation. Yeah. It's like.
Why?
But I mean, it could happen.
There's so much content. There's so much content they could be using right now, and they could be using it so much faster than they're doing it now. Instead of taking 8 years to come out with a Flash movie, giving me movies like The Trench, which I hope gets shit canned. I don't want to see that movie. There's just giving me a screen full of movies that I don't care about. Taking me 5 years to get to the movie that I did care about done the right way. That is because that is the way Warner Bros. Studios does things. They don't have anybody for as good as these guys are in their button pushing. They are not good when it comes to recognizing the connection between the IP and the person. Yep. And that's the only thing that I can ever get. Because Kevin Feige, he gets a lot of credit, great. But the one thing he does, two things he does great, is he manages what he has. And he recognizes the strength of that IP as it connects to the people. And that's something that DC, Warner Brothers has not had ever. They have not had.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Warner's has had a changing figurehead for the last, 15 years. They've always had level management issues, period. I mean, it's really funny to me that people talk about, Hamada's here to stay. It's like, well, yeah, people said the same thing about Kevin Sujihara, and look what happened to him.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. When it comes to the
there you go.
We won't know until after Justice League comes out.
Exactly.
There's no telling what's planned or what's going to go on. We just have to wait and see.
I want to pay.
Although they should have a plan.
On Walter
they may not have it publicly facing.
After that movie drops.
They should have a game plan ready to go. I know.
Well, if they have a plan, they're not going to reveal it to the public.
Not till after that. Not till after it releases. But if they're watching a Justice League and all of a sudden they're brainstorming like at hour 3 into it, everybody that's brainstorming needs to be fired. They really should have a game plan ready. Now, you're right. They're not going to release it, but that's our control right there. We just make sure that everybody watches the hell out of that thing and makes them show, how relevant it is. And like I said, the greed sensor, just like Spider-Man has the Spidey senses, the little greed sensors are going to pop up when they see the numbers from that. And Wonder Woman 84 is not a good example because it's a movie that should have been released a while back and it kept getting delayed. The build up to Wonder Woman 84 is nothing like the build up to Justice League. It's a movie we're settling for, to be honest with you. It's a movie I really didn't enjoy. Once again, you gave me a character that wouldn't have existed without Snyder to begin with, and you're moving her further and further away from what the core character was to be about. And I just felt it in that movie, and I think I'm going to feel it in these other movies. That's what I'm saying. Cut the umbilical cord. Let them float off into WB land and then give us our own little man cave called HBO Max to do our Sopranos, Game of Thrones type action.
For a minute, Dave, what do you think? Let's hear what you think so far about Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3. Well, I mean, I like the fact that I mean, last night, even when Brandon Davis was on, I guess we uncovered it that we
Matt Murdock.
that Charlie Cox was actually on set, and so that was kind of like cool. And I'm when it comes to Spider-Man 3, like I have my issues with Homecoming and Far From Home. Probably Far From Home a little bit more than Homecoming. I think I enjoyed Homecoming a little bit more, but I do like all the mysterious stuff that happened, like second half of the movie and everything.
Yeah.
But when it comes to what's happening
agreed.
in Spider-Man 3, like if they're gonna tackle the multiverse, cool. Bring back Toby, bring back Andrew. That's fine. They're bringing back some of these other villains, but at the same time, I'm also thinking like, man, is there no confidence in Tom Holland? Because it seems like always something.
Yeah, I think there is.
Here's the thing.
And honestly,
go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and honestly, honestly, like Matt Murdock was like arguably the one character we needed more than anyone else in Spider-Man 3 after the way that Far From Home ended, with that mid-credit scene with like now Peter has to be on the run. Now he's been exposed. So what does he do? He needs some legal counsel. And frankly, the perfect person to be his legal counsel is Matt Murdock. Let's be honest.
I agree, although they are doing a She-Hulk show, and Jennifer Walters is an attorney as well, so they could have used her. But I would prefer Matt Murdock for sure.
The only caveat to She-Hulk, though, is She-Hulk comes out after Spider-Man.
I think that if Tom Holland's Spider-Man needs any more mentors, I think the perfect ones for him to have actually is Andrew and Toby, because they're the ones, they're the more experienced ones. Yeah. And in the MCU, he's still like the underdog. Yeah. He's not Spider-Man that everybody knows and loves yet.
Which is pathetic.
The perfect person for him to learn from is the OG Spider-Man, in my opinion. That's what I think.
Yeah. Instead of Doctor Strange, which they talked about, like
I think Doctor Strange is just going to be there for some multiverse stuff. I don't
that
think
was rumored for the second one. I remember hearing rumors about Doctor Strange being like a mentor figure for the second one, and then it was almost immediately shot down that Cumberbatch wasn't going to be in the sequel. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
He's going to be there, and I think, if you think about like who did Peter go to Titan with? It was Tony and it was Doctor Strange. Tony's not around anymore, obviously. So it's not like they had this warm and fuzzy relationship, but I think there was something there where they could Doctor Strange can still give him some pointers of this is how you mitigate problems or something like that. I don't know. There's ways to do it, but I don't think they're not gonna have this close relationship. But I think Peter's gonna be I don't really have anyone to look up to anymore, and Peter's a young dude. I mean, people need mentors through college and afterwards. So
and I dug the mentor vibe, with the whole Tony thing. But then I was like, all right, it's time to move on from that. And when that mid-credit scene came about, and he's going through New York with MJ, I was like, okay, finally we're getting to the point where it seems like he's gonna he took the Pampers off. It's time to be you put the big boy pants on. I don't know.
But if you look at the Spider-Man character, he did okay for 5 decades without a mentor. I mean, they called him guest appearances back in those days. I mean, he really doesn't need a mentor. That was one of the most intriguing things about it.
But what I'm looking at is
about Spider-Man. Oh, go ahead, Dave.
What I'm looking at is they're trying to do something different from the previous ones. Yeah, the previous ones didn't have any mentors, not really nothing. They were their own fine. And when it comes to the cinematic, Spider-Man. So I was like, okay, if they're gonna have it, where Tony is the mentor of this Spider-Man, I didn't mind it. I was like, cool, that's fine. I get it. Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. He's he's your cash money right there. So it's okay, I get that. But then it was when now that he's dead, it's all right, time to put the big boy pants on, and he doesn't need yet another mentor. Yeah. But I do like the fact that if there is going to be the multiverse, other Spider-Man, kind of like how Into the Spideyverse, you had Peter Parker was the mentor of Miles Morales. I thought that was pretty cool. I liked what they did with that.
Because they kept it a Spider-Man story. It was still revolving around Spider-Man. Even if it was Spider-Man, it was still a Spider-Man centric story. That's why I think that's the best Spider-Man movie, is Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's kind of my hope.
Don't you think they're loading all these movies with all the multiverse now? And then you got with Flashpoint, and then with Spider-Man. I really usually dig these movies that blow all these characters into one thing because you're not going to give everybody their just due. I mean, that's
like Endgame,
kind of what's going on. Like I feel like Flashpoint's going to be like hot garbage. I don't see that being that good. I know everybody's getting excited about cameos. But that's the problem. It's just about, here's this one, here's that one, here's this one.
I don't think it's going to be like that, though. I don't think it's going to be like that. I have faith in Muschietti, but at the same time, like let's not forget with everything that's happening. With everything that's happening right now, when it comes to Ray Fisher stuff, I mean, that's what I wanted to project in the information I wanted to give in that video. It's like, hey, let's hold out. Let's not start saying boycott Flash movie. It hasn't even been shot yet. They're going to have to address this issue before before they jump in. And from what I gathered from two different sources is the Muschiettis are in Ray Fisher's corner. So we can't rule them out. And like I've said too, and Ray Fisher said it's not a cameo. He's pivotal to the story. And when it comes to, yes, there's going to be two Batman, apparently. Keaton, to me, I don't think he's full on signed on yet.
Exactly.
Everybody keeps on saying that he's like fully there. And I'm like, that's not what I heard. He's not. He's holding out because he wants that Batman Beyond movie. He really does. And he wants it to be directed by Tim Burton. And I'm like, intrigued by that. But, I know, William, you're laughing about that. But I'm intrigued by that. I want to see like
Tim Burton doing that.
I don't know.
He's going to be the new Johnny Depp.
I don't know. Tim Burton going back to Batman. I don't know. That'd be interesting.
See, but I'm like, okay, imagine a Burton Gotham City like cyberpunk future-esque era, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued.
Could Burton handle that?
It would be something that has been outside his wheelhouse. So Beyond area for him as a director.
He has a wheelhouse.
I mean,
Tim Burton has a wheelhouse.
Yeah,
Have you not watched his movies? He does have a wheelhouse. He has like a certain that. I mean, if you watch like Edward Scissorhands, Nightmare Before Batman Returns, I mean, that is total Tim Burton right there. I mean, when it came to the first Batman, like I think he did something different. Like, okay, I'm gonna try to be not so, but then again, he wasn't really. He didn't really. I think before that? What did he direct before that? What Pee Wee? Did he direct a Pee Wee movie? Right?
Frankenweenie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Frankenweenie. And then I think he did do Pee Wee's Big Adventure. I think whatever the movie's called. Yeah.
So he hadn't quite found like where he wanted to be, and then when it came to like he did Edward Scissorhands, and then of course Batman Returns. I mean, the tones of Batman and Batman Returns. I mean, it almost, if you didn't know who was directing those, you would think it was kind of almost two directors, because when it goes to Batman Returns, that is full fucking Tim Burton. I mean, watch my live watch. I like make fun of like the certain thing. It takes place in a snow globe. It's, you got the Elfman music. It's so Tim Burton. But the first one is not, there's some Burton stuff in there, but it's not full Burton.
That's why they have the Diet Coke commercial in front of it.
It's safe to say.
Difference in Wayne Manor from Batman and Batman.
Yeah,
I like them.
Say that again, Darren.
it's safe to say that. Yeah.
Say that again, Darren. Hold on. Say that again. Darren,
is he on mute? Is he froze?
Look at the difference in Wayne Manor from the first Batman and then on Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
There's that too.
Oh yeah, it's a totally different Wayne Manor. It's like everything is completely. It's almost like they just like told, hey, Tim Burton, since with this your first Batman movie was so successful, hey, do what you want with the second one. And he said, okay. And then when they saw what he was doing, he was like, they were like, oh shit.
Why did we say that?
I mean, he basically took a cue from Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne. Cue the clip.
It's
I didn't have it.
Wait, what happened just there?
Wasn't
Yeah, I was like, oh, cue the clip as I'm taking a drink of my beer. I'm like, damn.
Guys sort of like told Burton how to like improv and Keaton to improvise that that Let's Get Nuts scene? Like, wasn't that more of a John Peters thing than a Tim Burton thing?
Probably. See, that's what I wonder. Like, I want to know, like, I mean, I think we've heard someone like, yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of pushback, and that's why he kind of was like, okay, let's make this Batman more like this. But at the same time, I mean, when you watch the first two Batman movies, and Tim Burton has expressed this too, he was more about the villains than Batman, because Batman just showed, I mean, he's already Batman, you know, in the first Batman movie, and it's like okay, he's already kicking ass. We don't really get much backstory, but then, you know, we see the horse parents getting killed, and then he changed that to, Jack Napier, who becomes Joker, and there's a whole origin story for the Joker, you know, and everything. And then we look at Batman Returns, there's an origin story for both the Penguin and Catwoman, and then it's just like Batman's just like that character is like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to stop them. Not really, not a lot of development there, you know, when it comes to the hero. And he even said himself he was more about the villains than Batman.
Very true.
Yeah.
So I like a weird outcast characters and not like a normal.
And they did want to sell more toys. I know that.
Yeah, and I wonder too, is like if he were to direct like a Batman Beyond movie, would he focus more on Batman and, you know, Terry McGinnis? You know, what would he do? Would he focus on them more than the villains, or would he go straight to the villains again? And I thought the idea was he was supposed to have Batgirl as instead of Terry McGinnis in that one. Well, that's the rumor. There's a rumor
that's thrown out there.
Yeah.
Rumors are funny.
I hope not.
But, you know,
that's down the road, though.
Yeah.
And plus, Keaton's not getting
I
it
love
again.
Darren's reaction. Darren, he has a full on just. I mean, full on.
It's like no. I don't
exactly
think
why I brought it up.
Though.
Yeah.
Is Keaton going to do a series at 70?
No.
Yep.
Harrison Ford.
Wants
He
It's not going to be a series. It's going to be a movie.
He wants
Dave.
more. What's up?
Well, a movie is going, but you know, is there going to be a Batman Beyond movie? I mean, that sounds like a mess waiting to happen.
Okay, what's up, Darren?
That's a hard story to tell in a movie, I feel.
I mean, that's the movie I want to make.
There's so much backstory to that movie.
I would love to make that movie.
Oh, that's
What did you say, Darren? I didn't hear that.
Yeah. Hold on. Let Darren get out what he's got one more thing to say.
Hey, Dave.
Go ahead, Darren.
I want to hear what you had to say. Now I'm on edge.
I know. I think his connection is like kind of messed up, though.
I can't sleep tonight. Here we go.
Your connection's been choppy, Darren.
Okay,
sorry.
If I make a Batman Beyond movie and it's not Terry, I'm gonna be just like that Nicolas Cage gif, or the drop. I mean,
cue the clip.
If it's not Terry, I'm gonna be just like the Nicolas Cage drop.
I'm gonna say that is how I'm going to react if they do recast Clark and Lois and Superman and Lois.
We know that. We know you. We know. Yeah. I know. I'll be checking in on you if that happens, Eric. I'll be like, "You okay? You okay, buddy?"
Yeah.
Business is business.
Yeah. No, but like, okay. So, yeah. When it comes to okay. So, William, you're saying like, who was saying, would he be willing to do a series at 70? You don't think that he'd be willing to do a series at 70?
Okay, keep in mind, we're talking about a series schedule. Plus, he still does major motion pictures. So we're not just talking about a commitment to a series. We're talking about a man who is still making, Birdman. He's still making those types of movies. And now how much time do you have? How much energy do you have? I mean, 70 is 70.
You got to give him the benefit of the doubt, man. Even though he's 70, I mean, fucking like George Miller and Ridley Scott are like pushing 90, and they're still making fucking movies, man. I mean, you can't. Just saying, yeah.
And they're directing too. I mean, they're not acting.
Okay, that's even probably more strenuous at some time.
Directing is probably more exhausting.
Yeah,
just being talent's easier than directing.
Because
it's just a question. I'm not saying he can't. It's just a question. I mean, once these guys start getting up there, I mean, not everybody's going to be Danny Glover making a Lethal Weapon 90 at 90. Well, I mean, not everybody's
give him credit too.
Ernie Hudson still go.
I mean, now he's really too old for this shit. I love that. But I'm trying to.
Yeah, that's the tagline too.
I'm looking at his filmography right now. Michael Keaton. Right now, he currently has a movie called The Asset, which is in post-production. He's got Morbius that's in post-production, and then a TV series called Dope Sick, where he's going to be in, and it's in pre-production, and then The Flash. That's all he's got. He doesn't have a lot of things lined. So that's the thing.
Now, it also doesn't take much.
I'm just trying to tell you. I'm like, I just want him to do this Batman Beyond thing. That's all.
I mean, and like I said, there's something. This is more content. Like I said, the conversations we could have about content could go on forever. Just imagine it actually coming to fruition on a weekly basis. That's where I think the money's at.
Yeah,
I think there's more money,
and it's still very much up
in
in
a
the air.
series.
I mean, I've been told that it's not going to be the Zack Snyder's Justice League is not going to be a series anymore, but I still think like that would be the way to go. And I'm almost thinking like, okay, if Godzilla versus Kong is going to take that last date in March, okay, then the week after you start Zack Snyder's Justice League, all for the month of April, and it's all 4 episodes. Yeah. I like that idea. I don't know if they're going to do that because of the whole logistics of paying the actors and stuff like that. It just sounds cool that he would own the entire month of April, and I would hope that was going to be the case, but I don't know if that's
exactly.
Exactly.
I mean, like,
why does it have to be 4 parts? By the way, there's a lot of streaming series that don't all go 60 minutes. I mean, Mandalorian went 39 minutes. Star Trek Discovery 40. There's a lot of streaming series that don't go to 4 hours.
I'm just going by what he said.
I mean, like,
okay.
I mean,
that'd be cool if it was a 5.
Can you imagine waiting for Justice League?
Well, Zach did say that the script has 6 chapters in it. That the movie has 6 chapters essentially.
Yeah, well, he says 6 chapters, and my whole thing is like each episode's going to have 2 chapters. Well, no, he said 7 and an epilogue. So you have everyone so you have 3 episodes that have 2 chapters per, and then the epilogue is going to be like its own episode. That's what I think was going to end up happening. Or there was going to be 1 episode that was going to be 1 full chapter, which could be like the history lesson, could be like the whole chapter. Yeah, 1 whole fucking episode. So
that would be cool, yeah.
But I mean, the thing with it, if it's not a series, then it misses out on that hype buildup over the course of its run. Like, I mean, Watchmen. Lots of people watched Watchmen when that started, but after like the 3rd or 4th week, that's when everyone was like really into it because the buzz was just building and building and building.
Episode 5 was the best, by the way.
Exactly, yeah. So that I think so. Look, I'll take whatever form they want to give it to me, but like, if they're going to release Zack's Justice League like as a 1-shot rather than 4 parts over a month or however many installments you want to make it, then like you miss out on that build up and that ongoing hype. So
exactly. You're leaving money on the table.
I mean, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Keep talking about it.
It's absolutely perfect to do like the miniseries format on HBO Max, and then sometime later, like release it in theaters, the 4-hour cut on IMAX with an intermission at the 2-hour mark. Of course, it's got to have the intermission or nothing. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of people. Yeah, Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of people struggling. Yeah.
Hi, Brad.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of people struggling about the bathroom if you do not have the intermission. I guarantee it.
Okay, Darren's logging out. He just told me that. Yeah, there's like I said, when it comes to the cell phones on this stuff, it was like the clicking. You guys heard all the clicking. Even when you were on your cell phone, there was clicking on yours. And I was like trying to okay, let's like mute until you need to talk. But I felt bad because I'm like, I'm muted, Darren. I want to hear what he has to say. But yeah, he just.
What do you think about all this, Brad?
Yeah, he just said he was logging out, and hopefully we'll get him on the next stream, and hopefully we'll. Yeah, it's just, but yeah, everybody was hearing that. Like that. I don't know why that happens on. It's just cell phones,
I thought it was your plumber.
No.
Yeah, your water heater guy in the back.
Oh God, that guy.
That was quality entertainment. That was quality entertainment. I'll give you that.
Tell me what's wrong.
I mean, that's what I was like. You know what? I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna leave everything on and see what happens. Yeah.
I was half tempted for you to be like, yeah, come on to work, and then for him to like at some point go like like peek over into the camera.
I think the plumber was just a nickname. I think that would
He
be
was a sassy bastard too.
He was sassy. Well, it's like because like I remember the last time he had to come to my apartment because my garbage disposal stopped working, and then I'm like, okay. So I let my landlady know, and I'm like, okay, let me know when someone's going to show up. See, my landlady is really bad at notifying when somebody's going to show up. So I'm literally like, I just got off work, and I wanted to take a little power nap before, I don't know, was it on a Friday? It was probably on a Friday. I think it was on a Friday. So at like 5:15, 5 or maybe almost 5:30. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a power nap. And then what happens? Knock on the door as I'm about to fall asleep, and it's him. And he's gonna check out the plumber. And he does like to talk to himself too, by the way. When he was looking at my garbage disposal, he was like literally talking to himself while that was happening. I'm like, well, I'm not taking a power nap now. And then this is the second time I've had
just let himself in.
No, he didn't let himself in. He knocked on the door as I'm like reclined and about to fall asleep for a power nap, and wakes me up, and it's just like, God damn it. So then this time it's just like, like, why? This was after 5 again. Why do you send this guy here so late? I mean, I get it. People work during the day. You want to like maybe like give that luxury, but it's like, okay, well then let me know. And my landlady is not good at letting me know when like someone's gonna be knocking on my door. Like, hey, just let you know in like the next 20 minutes, 30 minutes, he's gonna be showing up. No call. Even when like he finally replaced the water heater, which of course was on the day I was on the 4 Nerds, and it was happening as that was happening. Like I was like, of course, I'm going on at 4:30, and he shows up at 3:30, and it's like,
Dave, be grateful. There are people in San Bernardino without running hot water.
That's very true. I can't complain. You're absolutely right about that. I shouldn't complain, but it's just kind of. But I was supposed to get a call. Did not get a call from my landlady. It's like, come on. It's like,
I'll be honest. I didn't find it.
You were like a Seinfeld episode
until the 4 Nerds replayed the whole thing with you. And then I was like laughing like crazy.
Of course, Nicotine just like he just brings it up and shows the whole thing. I'm like, oh God. But I didn't mind it. It's fine. It was fun. It was fun.
Great.
We had a good laugh about it. So, but what do you guys think about the Joker clip that Ayer just casually hey, I'm gonna post a story and I'm gonna post this little clip like right in there. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, that was glorious.
Talk. Let's let Bradley go first. He hasn't talked as much. Go ahead.
It's
Bradley.
Okay. I have my opinion on what we saw. Obviously, everyone does. But that movie was awful.
The Suicide Squad?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's god awful. And I remember when the trailer came out, there was so much shit in that trailer that was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Let's see that. And then I went and saw the movie and saw that pile of trash. But
but what did you think of the clip that Ayer kind of snuck in, where he's going to be like, "Hey, my movie is, it's going to be better than that pile of trash."
I was at work and I looked at my phone and I just was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
let's go
right there.
Same here.
Yeah. What I love about it though is the fact that he used the clip where he said, you should be ashamed of yourself. And I'm like, that almost sounds like he was like, you know what? This is perfect for things that are happening right now,
Yeah, that's
I heard it with audio though. I heard it with audio for
just a lot of layers.
I don't know if someone added the audio, but
somebody added the audio.
I don't know if it's just someone. Yeah, and did a really good Jared Leto impression. I'll give him that.
Is it just me?
I swore it was the real thing. He was so good at
imagery on that.
Weren't those words in his initial script that he shared? I know he shared a couple pages.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't remember, but no, but I mean, I just love the fact that he used that and he just snuck it in his IG story on the day that, released the Snyder Cut. Every time I say release I always go release the Snyder. Yeah.
Snyder Cut.
Yeah. But I mean, the last I saw, it was at like 45,000. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome. For a little,
there's so much potential in that character.
Yeah.
There is.
There's
That's
so
why.
much
Okay,
potential.
going back to the whole Birds of Prey thing. I mean, when you guys were talking about that, you know, I mean, my whole big thing was the fact that it was like, hey, there should have been like when talking about the breaking up of Harley and Joker, that should have been. I mean, the Harley and Joker movie should have been first. Then it should have been like a Birds of Prey movie. That whole idea that there was going to be like a natural born killers type, you know, Joker and Harley. That would have been. That should have been the first thing. Oh, we got a new.
Yes.
We got Mr. We got Mr. Jerry here. Bell and Jerry. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Yo, what's up, man?
How you doing, man?
Good, brother. How you doing?
How you doing?
Good. And I mean, Jerry's your actual name, right?
No, I'm Tony, but
okay.
my last name is Bud and Jerry. So
okay, gotcha. But he's an artist. Does some pretty awesome stuff. You posted even recently. Look at that. That's what he just drew recently.
Oh, that's badass.
Awesome stuff.
Man, I'm about to do a Deathstroke right now.
Oh, there you go. He's inspired.
In light of the
Very
Max Twitter.
So what you're saying, Dave, on the that they wasted that character. There shouldn't have been a black mask in that character in that movie. I liked it. I liked the performance of it, but I thought the Joker was enough. It should have been him and her. And that goes back to them not having a spine, of sticking with what somebody sets out. They hear people say, "Oh, that's not my Joker," or "That's not my Superman," and instead of sticking their foot in the cement and sticking with a version, they buckle. And that's one thing you don't see over in Marvel, mainly because their characters aren't 80 years old. But when you have a Joker that's a revolutionary Joker, you have to know that there's going to be a good percentage of people that are going to spit on you. But you have to know going in. And then that Jared Leto Joker, you have an Academy Award-winning actor, a top-tier actor playing that character, and you didn't let him go with it, and they paid for it. They paid for it with a Birds of Prey.
They did. They absolutely did.
Yeah.
And but you know, another thing to be to actually talk about too with that Joker clip, he deleted it. David Ayer deleted it. See, this is David Ayer. He knows. He knew that it was going to make traction. I mean, come on. He put it out there. He put it out there. He snuck it out there. Somebody saw it, ripped it, and now it's all over Twitter. You know, smart. He's taking a page, a little bit of, you know, I almost even going a little different because, you know, Snyder just goes, fuck it, and just posts whatever on Vero and goes, have fun, or post whatever. But David Ayer was like, I'm going to sneak this in a story. And then once it starts circulating on Twitter, I'm going to delete it. So I like that. I like that he's taking a little different, sneakily different approach. Yes.
Next time you see David Ayer or hear from David Ayer,
the people want it, man. The people want it.
People do want it. What do you think about it,
Imagine
Phil?
Imagine if we got like a Batman assault on Arkham.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's definitely that it's, you know, it's more of Jared Leto's Joker that we have not seen. It's more a little bit of that cutting room floor footage that I kind of wish that we would see. I mean, it's cool to know that he's coming back in Zack Snyder's Justice League, even for a smaller role. But even still, I would love to see more of what he did with the.
He wants to do more, doesn't he?
Oh yeah. Oh, totally. I mean, like when he heard. He wants to do the whole, you know, killing of Robin. I mean, that's how crazy. I mean, it's Jared Leto. He had
more HBO.
Yeah, exactly. More HBO content. And I think, boy, what's funny about when it comes to Jared Leto, it's like, you know, when you're given a character like the Joker, which is iconic, and you have to like reinvent it yet again. And he did. I mean, his Joker is distinct from previous Jokers. And I think like he knows that. I mean, I think he even said like in interviews that there was enough footage that was cut out of Suicide Squad for a full-on movie. Like, and the fact that he got that taken away and hopefully he gets that back. But at the same time, it's like he wants to explore more of it. And and it's just so funny too that he got so much taken out of that movie that he's going to be the first actor to play Joker in multiple movies now. Like the first one. I love that.
You know what's hilarious, Dave?
Huh?
They found a way to ruin two movies by taking out one actor. They kind of ruined Suicide Squad, and they ruined Birds of Prey. They ruined two movies by not leaving in an Academy Award-winning actor.
You know, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, if they had stuck with Jared Leto for Birds of Prey, you probably could have had a whole like gang rivalry thing between Leto's Joker and Black Mask, and like Harley's just and the other ladies are just stuck in the middle of it. And just have, like, we fight our way out. Like, I mean, you think about like Harley,
that would have been amazing.
The Harley and Ivy episode of when she first broke up with the Joker.
It still happened.
Joker's still in there shooting things off. So I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. What were you gonna say, Eric?
I wanted to see an adapt of Batman Assault on Arkham.
I would.
Yeah. Say that again, Neil.
I would love to say, like, while on the subject of.
Hold on, Eric. What did you say, Neil? Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh no! With all the stuff, everybody remembers Batman Assault on Arkham.
Oh yeah. I mean, like,
you see that animated movie? Okay, now if that was adapted into like that was the Suicide Squad movie. Oh my god!
I think it would have
you would have got a good amount of Batfleck in that too.
Yeah,
and Jared Leto's Joker, I feel, would have been perfect for that.
And building on that, you know what I want to see with the Jared Leto Joker? I want to see a live action Killing Joke with Batfleck and I want to see a live action Killing Joke.
Yeah.
With Jared Leto and Batfleck.
I could see it with Jared Leto's Joker.
Like it is in the comics. Not that animation madness.
Oh, don't even talk about that.
Where they just have that makeshift love affair from Sex and the City with Batman.
Yeah, get rid of that. Honestly, like
weird too.
Watching that.
But honestly, like the conversation that Joker and Batman have at the very end of Killing Joke is the perfect lead-in to Joker, like eventually helping out Batman in the nightmare vision, in the nightmare future. Because it is all about the two of them coming to an understanding of each other, which is perfect foreshadowing of Nightmare.
You don't think he dies?
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think they're going to have an understanding when it comes to Nightmare. I think it's just like, hey, I'm out of options. We got Superman who's evil, and we got this fucking apocalyptic god that is like torched the earth. I'm like down.
Army.
I'm like, I don't think they're going to be like this. It's going to be still this, but it's like, I have to use you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be getting revenge for Harley getting wiped out. I think that's one of the first things Darkseid and his minions do.
Yeah,
somehow Harley gets killed. And
I'm totally with you. I think like Harley Quinn is one of the victims of Darkseid, so that's why it's like, all right, let's come together. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that.
Now.
What do you think of this idea? I'm just throwing this out there.
You kill off. Yeah.
No, go ahead, Eric. Well, go ahead, Eric, and then
you kill off. I'm just saying this. Now, you kill off Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, you'll get mass hysteria and riots in the streets.
Tell that to James Gunn.
No, we're talking about an alternate universe, though.
This
It'll be undone.
Timeline, though. This is an alternate.
Yeah, but that's.
What were you gonna say, Carrie?
I'm just spitballing here, but like, what if there was something like in the Nightmare scene where like Darkseid starts using the anti-life equation on more characters? He tries using it on the Joker, but it doesn't work because the Joker's just too insane.
He already lost his mind. Yeah. I like that.
Interesting.
He's like, nope, bang.
But yeah, I can't wait to see him. I can't wait to see him in Justice League.
Oh, it's gonna be great. I mean,
this one movie is going to set off a lot of different things. Like I was saying, these plans that they allegedly don't have. Trust me, if it does well, there's a whole bunch of those little splinters, little tree branches. Those branches are going to start growing again, and not just in the WB universe.
Well, that's what I brought up on Film Junkee Live, and I think like Garza and Everts, they talked about it on Real Emotion because they read my coattails trying to rip me off. And I'm just kidding. No, but no, they kind of talked about it and they capitalized on it. They talked about because I said okay, so maybe if they decide to, hey, let's go all the way with Snyder's Verse and the 5-part story. Let's go as far as we can. Yes, we'll do the Superman arc you wanted, and then we'll keep on going. But what if it Snyder? He is a busy guy. He's a very busy guy. What if he decides to go? I'm not going to direct it, but I'll try to get. I'm going to get the directors. Any director I think could do it, and I'll still be a producer, and we'll still use my story. And I brought that out there. And of course, a lot of people are like, "No, it's Snyder or nothing." I don't know how you guys would feel about what if it does continue, but it's not Snyder directing, but he's very much still involved producing. and but somebody else is going to take the reins, I guess you could say. I don't know.
I'm all for that.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah,
that's what I think is the eventual end of all this. Is that he's going to basically set a skeleton crew together. He'll set the vision, and then they'll go on while he does other things. Because believe it or not, he does have other tasks. He does have other movies that he has to basically be doing.
He's creating.
But if his vision continues, as long as his vision continues, I don't care if it's claymation, live action. I mean, as long as the vision goes on, I'll take it any way I can get it. But that's the way I see it happening.
I mean, Favreau is writing and producing and overseeing everything with Mandalorian, but he's not directing every single episode.
Exactly. And then it's same thing with Raised by Wolves. Raised by Wolves was like Ridley Scott's baby, and you could feel Ridley Scott through that whole series, but it's not Ridley Scott directing every episode. Yeah.
Like Blade Runner 2049.
No, he only directed like one or two.
But he didn't direct.
I think he directed a couple episodes, or I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, he didn't direct that many. I know that.
It wasn't all of them. Now
he only directed two.
It was two.
No.
Obviously, the first one, just like John Favreau directed
the first two.
Yeah,
I think he writes every. I think he writes a script for almost every single one, but then he probably directs.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like Snyder would be very much involved in the story, everything, but he's just not going to be the director. And I'm like, I would be okay with that. Go ahead, Aaron.
Man.
Sign me up.
I think that's
so would I. It's like, yeah. So would I. It's like the $1 million question, of course, is like, who could fill those shoes?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm personally thinking that there'll be these newbie directors, these more or less newbie directors that we've probably, for the most part, have never heard of.
Yeah.
That will be taking up the mantle as opposed to an established director that we all know. I mean, although now that said, like if we're talking about established directors, I could see Denis Villeneuve directing it, for example. I could see him filling in the void and making it feel like a Snyder film, more or less. Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be interesting because I mean, when you look at the sequel to 300, that was completely somebody else, and it's a pretty forgettable sequel in my opinion. When I watched it, I was like, all right, but it just didn't have that. It just didn't have that feel fully. I mean, but that's a hard those are some hard shoes to fill when it comes to Snyder and his visuals. But when it's a little different, I think, with this because. Yeah, as much as like his visuals that we've seen in Man of Steel, BBS, and what we're going to see in Justice League, that might be some hard shoes to fill. But I think when it came to 300, that was when Snyder really created his, according to James Cameron, he created his cinematic language, which was that fast motion, slow motion stuff. And then everybody is trying to fucking anytime you have a movie with a sword in the field, people were trying to copy that, and it just did not. It doesn't feel.
It felt like a Spartacus episode.
Yeah.
You know who I think would be a good pick, Dave?
What's up? Who?
David Lindelof.
What? Oh, I'm trying to remember who.
Watchmen. You did Watchmen.
Watchmen. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Duh.
Lindelof. He show ran this Watchmen. So
let him do it. See what happens. I mean, it's like Eric said too. It's like it's going to be somebody that's probably not. I mean, you could pick like popular directors, but I think it's going to be somebody that, someone off the wall, like you said, like somebody just like you wouldn't think. And I mean, look what happened when Nolan was like, hey, okay, they wanted him to direct like a Superman movie like Dark Knight. And he was like, well, no, but I know this, what about Snyder over here?
Right.
Yeah, he did Watchmen. I really fucking love that. I think he could do it. And they were like, cool. And he kept them at bay, which is why Man of Steel is full on not touched. It's good.
He impossible. He reinvented Superman.
Exactly. But then when it came to Batman,
I think you could have
Man of Steel.
You could easily have a combination of like new and upcoming directors plus like ones who've been around longer. I mean, that's the deal with the Mandalorian. Like you had you had Rodriguez, but you also had I'd never heard of Deborah Chow until the Mandalorian and her episodes. Or Bright. Who knew that Bryce Dallas Howard could direct?
Yeah,
I've always thought she was a great actress, but I didn't know she could. I didn't know that she wanted to direct. So
yeah. Kind of just
go like, how Taika Waititi got his gig at Marvel.
Who?
Taika Waititi.
He literally sent them a reel, a highlight reel.
Yeah, I mean, he's talented.
You
Yeah,
want him to direct it?
Christopher
No,
McQuarrie, I think give him a call.
I'm not saying he's a good fit. I'm saying he literally
Chris
just
McQuarrie.
sent Marvel a reel, and he got the gig. So like, there's so many underrated.
there is. You're
unheard
absolutely
of.
right. You're absolutely right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's one of the
guys. For all I care.
one of the things. That's one of the things. Like,
I mean-
Marvel was trying to do was like, hey, let's maybe try to get some unknown directors, and but at the same time, I almost went like, oh yeah, if we get these unknown directors to direct our movies, they will listen to me. Like Kevin Feige was like, they'll listen to me, and
That's what you need with this.
Yeah. You need
Well,
that.
again,
You don't
you
want
got-
people that have too much clout because then they're going to want to do what they want to do. So one central voice telling everybody, all right, this is what we're doing here, 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 and here, and then they put it in.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I kind of so maybe
And
if,
that's
like,
that's what DC's lacked, leadership.
yeah.
You know what I can really respect about Kevin Feige? It really feels like he doesn't feel the need to go up to the directors and be like, "Here, use my pages."
Yeah. Unlike what was happening with DC with
No.
The thing that I've always heard about Feige and his team is that anytime they bring in, anytime they interview a potential director, they always like say, well, here's the general idea we're thinking of. What would you do with that? And if they think that person has a better take, then they go with that one.
yeah.
That's how it should go. That's called management.
Yeah.
It is called
Something you have
management.
to do in WB.
So if that happens where they
I mean, like,
if Zack Snyder's
I mean,
Justice League is like going to be like a hit, and they go like, we want more, but Snyder's like, all right, well, I'm not going to direct it, but I'll find somebody to do it, but it'll be like a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed director who's just like wants to be like, okay, yeah, I have the style, but I need some like folk. It'd almost be like a Batman Beyond. It'll be like Bruce and Terry. Zack Snyder's going to be like, okay, I'll point you in the right direction. And we'll do it. You're almost like you're going to be like my second unit director, and I'll just show you like, hey, do these scenes.
Yeah.
And I'll, give you some notes, but follow the story.
Yeah.
I'm part of the creative
Exactly.
process. That's where I was going with when I brought it up.
Hey,
the
Zach,
aesthetic
I'll just say this. Hey,
Go ahead, Eric. You've been wanting to say something.
yeah, I'll say this. Hey, Zach, if you're watching this, I'm open. I'm game for it. I'm going to do it. Hire me. I'll do it. I'll do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but you don't have his phone number.
I just want to be on the
No, but you do, Dave. No, Dave, but you do.
I do.
Big Nick.
I'll recommend myself. I'll be like,
You do, Dave. So connect them.
I'll direct your.
Connect us.
If you add a Patreon tier of getting to be invited to a set of Zach's movie, I will sign up for that.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean,
heck, I've been talking over and over again, like for the past couple of years. I've been talking about how I have been like writing out of sheer conceit. I have been writing this Wonder Woman and Lois Lane script. I mean, if Zach is going to bring me on, I'll do that. I'll bring that on. I will show him that script. I'll show Gal Gadot that script. I'll show Amy that script. I'll show Patty Jenkins that script. I'm just saying, let's do it.
What kind of Lois?
That's gonna be like that script will turn into like an animated, like almost like a Harley Quinn show kind of thing, where it's just all goofy and stuff like that. I can see it for that. That'll be an episode of Harley Quinn. That's what they'll turn that into, man. I'm just saying.
So it gets watered down.
HBO Max special with the two of them, with Gallon. HBO Max special, live action, two of them. And if Patty wants to direct it, let her direct it.
I don't know about that.
Listen,
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know about that.
I don't want to see anybody.
Sorry.
The only person personally I would want to see that come over in the HBO Max universe is Zack Snyder. To be honest with you, that's really necessary. Some of the actors maybe, but as far as any of these other directors that have, there's no need. Get some brand new directors that will
create his own team
on their way. But I don't want to see Patty Jenkins' work on HBO Max. I have no desire whatsoever to see Patty Jenkins' work anymore as far as the DC movie.
I mean, part of the whole Amazon spinoff is like she said.
Fine, let me direct the darn thing.
She was going to direct it. It's like fine. cool. Don't direct it.
You don't think that
But you
Netflix
can
will
be
push
part of the
back?
creative process. And you know, I mean, we got to realize that, you know, these people are busy. They're doing their own things. But if we want to see a continuation of like certain worlds, like if Patty Jenkins is gonna like, you know, there's gonna be an Amazon spinoff. Yeah, somebody else take the reins. She's part of the creative process. If they want to continue the Snyder Verse, Snyder doesn't have to direct like everything. I mean, yeah, it'd be great if he does, and maybe he'll find time and he'll just be like, all right, let's do it. But if
screenplay, that's all I need from him.
But if he doesn't, then he could just like start, you know, doing that management thing where it's like, okay, let's get this director and I'll point him in the right direction and we'll do this thing. And I think, you know, I'm perfectly okay with that.
I'm okay with that. Like I said, I would like to just sit down and look at a bunch of brand new people, lay out what he wants, what tone he wants, and then pick the people for his tone, and then write some screenplays, do some stuff with him. Obviously, be in contact with him, but I would take that in a heartbeat. And I don't want any of them to be people that he's worked with in some of these movies that they've done now. Anybody who's worked under the Hamada regime, as far as that regime, I really don't think they would fit, simply because their way of thinking is different than what you would need to tell the type of story on HBO Max. But like I said, he's the only constant that you need in any of this. And he's more important than the actors. He's more important than anything else. He's the cause. And so Johnny No Name for director, Johnny No Name for your next Batman, as long as he looks like my Frank Miller Dark Knight Batman, if I can't get Ben Affleck, dude, give me something. I don't want to stop. If the choice is not to do it or to continue, it's to continue, hands down. You know, any way I can get it. It's like crack.
Sound kind of greedy, William.
Well,
sound kind of greedy.
You gotta realize though,
you don't want it anyway,
you're not gonna have
because then we'll probably still get the garbage that we are getting. So you don't want that.
No, but if I'm getting it under his purview,
you want this to be a little bit.
Under his purview.
If we're getting under his umbrella, I'm with you.
Well, I do have a clear vision for
under his umbrella.
Yeah.
Well, I do have a clear vision of that script. Well, I do have a clear vision of that script. So if I have to direct it, I'll direct the darn thing.
I am very curious what Zach's writing process is like. Like, how does he work with like Terrio and whomever? Like,
I think when it comes to him, he's all about like, I mean, he's open to ideas. I mean, we heard him when he talked about, or when Joe Manganiello talked about the look for, and he said Zach called him up. He said, "Hey, I want to bring you back. We're going to have some Deathstroke in the nightmare scene. Is there anything that you want to add to it?" And then Joe Manganiello was like, "Yeah, I want to have a war mohawk and some other things." And Jack was like, "Cool." Yeah. Did I say that right? Yeah.
I want to know what like the process of like when he's working with Terrio, for example, like how did they figure that out? Did he's like, here's the ideas I'm thinking of, and Terrio's like, okay, let me go write it, and then like, you know, showed it to him. He's like,
I remember him. This might be, I'm paraphrasing here. I think he said him and Terrio at the very, very beginning of it, after BVS, him and Terrio got locked themselves in a room with a case full of Diet Coke, and they just plotted out Justice League and basically the whole idea of what he had.
Yes. No, that sounds pretty accurate. You know, I mean,
I would so love to do that.
When it comes to Snyder, I mean, he's not like an actual writer. He doesn't write screenplays, but he knows what he wants. He draws everything out, and he's just full of ideas. So he needs that. He needs that David Goyer. He needs that Chris Terrio to be like, okay, I'm going to translate all this and put it into screenplay. So yeah, he's not exactly a sit there and
he's the visual man.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we talked about. I mean, we know that, you know, he's got some dyslexia, which I have some of that too. And it's just like, you know, you can't exactly like just sit there and just write out stuff. But he's like all about like writing, you know, drawing sketches on napkins and drawing sketches and everything. It's like, this is what I want, and then he has the writer do with that what he wants. So I think that's pretty much.
I've got to bounce. I'll be back later, but I'm gonna post it soon.
Oh, look at that. Damn, that's what he was doing right now. Look at that.
Oh, that's nice.
That's beautiful.
That's
all right.
Yeah, that looks
You want to send
I'll paint it in a bit. Just before I go.
I like his Jim Lee Superman poster in his back.
I got these prints coming to you guys soon.
Oh, look at that, man.
Ooh.
That.
Oh, that was nice.
Sauce. There you
This
go.
one's about 50% done.
Beautiful.
Oh
Look
my
at that.
god.
Oh,
Talented, man.
Oh my god.
Oh, with the
That's beautiful.
blue and the gray.
So
That is gorgeous.
Pretty sweet, man.
I'll
World's
make you a
finest.
priest. That's my
World's
Superman one up there.
That's awesome.
nice.
Pretty good.
Nice.
All right, boys.
Yeah, I like
Okay,
that
later.
Superman right
Oh,
there.
Sounds good, man. Well, thank you for joining, Tony. I appreciate that.
Anytime. Soon.
All right, dude.
Mm.
See you next time. But yeah, so I mean, that's just when it came to that question of like expanding all that, and when people talk about that, I mean, of course, there's people that's like, no, it's either Snyder doing or nothing. It's either live action or nothing. And I'm like, you gotta remember that after the movie came out, after the theatrical, after he walked away, he didn't think it was gonna happen. So obviously, there's other projects that he's doing. He's creating a whole zombie universe right now. And even that, like when it comes to prequel, he's not directing it, and then he's got animated. Oh, he's gonna have other people directing that too, but he's gonna be part of the creative process, It's like you gotta let the man.
I'll take it.
With that?
Put the lines on the table, I'll snort them. Doesn't matter.
Exactly.
I don't care.
I don't know. That's a good analogy.
just put it in front of me.
I mean,
I'll just say.
Go ahead, Eric.
I mean, I'll
There's
just
a raw
say
take
like
right there.
I'll just say, yeah. I'll just say like an animated Snyder Verse, that's good, but it can be better.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You bring up the Max Lord line. It would be good. But all right, guys. I think we're gonna actually wrap this up. We got 2 hours in, and I appreciate you guys coming on with me. Like I said, doing this once a month, and it's a lot of fun talking with you guys. And I appreciate all you guys for be part of the Patreon. You guys are awesome.
With my other 2 hours.
I did 4 hours last night, man.
Only 2 hours.
I gotta be up early to play drums tomorrow morning.
That's right.
You're on the pole for this.
Your picture. You're a drummer, huh?
I am, yeah.
Dude, it's 1 a.m. over in my land, so
like when it comes to drums, man, I'm like that's my minor choice too. Actually, never had an actual drum set, but I have some coordination when it comes to drumming, so that's cool, man. But I appreciate you guys.
I have a keyboard. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll start a band.
I have a keyboard. I have a trumpet, and I have a clarinet.
Very random. Yeah, we'll start a band.
The only band link so I can continue this.
Huh. Yeah, let's get our band going. Who could play what? Who could sing? Anybody can sing here? I don't know. Phil, you have a good voice. You have a good talking voice. Maybe you could sing. Maybe Bradley.
Let's go Milli Vanilli.
There you go. Bradley, you have maybe a good voice. Bradley could probably be the face of the band right there. He's got the hair.
I was gonna say Neil's got a front man.
Yeah, you got the boy. You got the boy.
Neil, a little bit. Yeah, Neil looks like he's a lead guitarist, because he's got that grin. So like when he's playing, he's like grinning.
I'll be the bass guy.
Yeah, I like that. There you go.
Looks like one of the guys from System of a Down.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars.
There we go.
Come to see what's.
Can I mute this?
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, come to see what spring is like on.
There we go. We got our 5 hours. I'm just kidding. No, but I appreciate you guys joining me. We'll do this again soon. And just looking forward to everything that's coming out. I mean, next month, like I said, is going to be absolutely crazy. It's going to be insane when all the marketing kicks in with a lot of stuff. Not just that, but with Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh, yeah.
That. I mean, I think February they're going to really start man, it's going to be insane.
Get some more Mortal Kombat. We're going to get a lot.
Yep.
Hey, here's the Super Bowl.
Pictures in my phone and not just screenshots
here's
of
the Super Bowl
and stuff.
Exactly. Actual full-on pictures. Yeah. I don't think there's going to be a Zack Snyder
to the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. I don't think it's going to be like an actual TV spot, but they might.
They put $3 million for that.
No, it's way too much. But there'll be like some kind of 5-second thing that goes, hey, there's a new trailer on YouTube. Go watch it, and it's like 5 seconds. I don't know how much that costs. probably a little bit less, but who knows. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you coming in. So thank you, Carrie, Eric, William, Neil, Bradley, and of course, Mr. Phil, who I mean, you have your own like podcast, right, Phil, or something?
Yeah, I do. I do have my own podcast. I've been doing it for just about 2 years now. Come to think of it.
What's it called?
It's Superhero Stress for anyone who wants to check it out.
Superhero Stress. There we go. And then, of course, Neil,
I'll check it out, Phil.
Yeah. Go ahead and check out that podcast. We'll do some more talking, Phil. And then, of course, Neil just started his YouTube channel because he's a character. Of course, we've seen him on the vodka stream with the questions. Then he's got that awesome man cave layout that we all love. But yeah, look for him at the Irregular Neil.
Irregular Neil.
There it is.
Yes,
I like it.
There, come join, be a part of the Irregular Nation, everybody.
There you go.
I want
the shirt brand going. And then, of course, we got William.
I got
William, who's part of the Sci-Fi Center in Las Vegas, and then which I visited, and it's got, of course, got all kinds of stuff in there. And the next time in Vegas, I'll definitely visit you again, Neil. And then, of course, we got Eric Blake, who's Hardboiled Entertainment. Yeah. What? Yeah. Promote.
Yep. And I got a podcast in motion I'm going to put together. I'm going to put together a podcast too. It's going to be called Culture Current.
Okay. Culture Current.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we got Carrie, who's the drummer of a band. And I'm, that's awesome. I love that, And I love the questions that you give me on the podcast stream and appreciate it. And then Bradley, I'm new to you, so I don't know if you have anything to promote.
No.
Okay. There it is. But all right, guys, I appreciate it. And we'll
I also have my comics, by the way.
Oh, you guys comics too? Yeah, we'll talk about those soon. Don't worry. All right, guys, we'll talk to you soon. All right.
Absolutely.
All right, Dave. Appreciate it. All right, guys. So there we go. All right. So that was the that was the rest of the fan chat. I mean, I'm sorry that sometimes the audio was a little messed up when it came to the cell phone stuff. I feel, hopefully we can get Darren back next time and everything. But I don't know why with cell phones, it just it messes up or something like that. But I don't know. It's interesting. But no, I appreciate all those guys coming in. It's always nice to get different perspectives and talking to the fans and everything like that. So Dave, stay on longer. I'm not going to stay on that much longer. What did I do? No. When's Jeff Johns coming on? You fucking what am I hearing? Oh, geez. There is that. Oh, wow. That's what I was hearing that whole time. Jeez. Sorry, I had something playing in the background. Sorry about that. You just got here. Yeah. Well, like I said, when it comes to these, I was only going to do 2 hours, which is, we're not going to go vodka stream levels because I don't know if I could do that 2 nights in a row. That's the thing. It's going 4 or 5 hours, 2 nights in a row. That's a little rough. But I'm probably just going to sit and relax and watch something, either a movie I've seen a million times or a movie I have not seen at all. We'll see what happens. But anyways, guys, like I said, I want to thank those guys. They're helping out the pirate ship with their Patreon pledges. I love that. And try to, give them the bang for the buck so they can come on and, we'll have a conversation and talk about things. That's what I love about all this is the fact that, the vodka stream, obviously it's always going to be, there's going to be a guest and, sometimes maybe even a Patron could turn into a special guest because they're doing creative stuff too. Like Phil has a podcast, Eric has comic stuff and his own podcast. Everybody is doing their own thing. So, and, maybe one of these days it'll just get to that point and stuff. So, but I like talking with the fans and stuff like that. So anyways, guys. All right, Dave, you can find, you guys are funny. I love it. All right, guys. It's been fun. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, do all that, and hit the subscribe button too. Or if you want to hit the join button to become a member of the Film Junkee YouTube Nation, you could do that. Or if you want to help out, there's also the Patreon. If you want to take part in the next fan chat live stream, you can do that too. Like I said, I would love to have as many people as we as we can, as soon as it's going to get to a point where it's like, oh man, I'm going to have to like rotate some people. But right now we got like kind of like a cool little Patron panel, I guess you could say. I think everybody gets a kick out of William and, Eric and Carrie. They're always the regulars. And I think everybody enjoys their perspectives and stuff. I certainly do. But anyways, guys, yeah, do all that. If you want to get yourself a shirt like the Keaton shirt, that's also down below in the Film Junkie closet. Good times, good times, good times. And remember, guys.
And also, I'm excited to watch the Snyder Cut because Joss Whedon sucks.
Everybody got that?
You guys better get that. All right, guys. Talk to you later.